Hey, Sassy fam. Welcome to your Thursday check-in. I hope you're doing well. I hope you are fabulous. You guys, it feels so good. It feels so good to be back. Well, for me personally, and I'm back in the swing of things in terms of my exercise discipline regimen. So I'm really, really tired is my point, but it's a good kind of tired. It's that kind of productive exhaustion that you get with physical discipline and training. So some of you might remember I had abdominal surgery in July. I had a pre-hernia or hernia that was developing, and it was caught early. That got corrected, but I was not able to resume my disciplines for some time. Fairly long this time, about 2.5 months I had to wait before I could go back into training. For 20 years, I have been practicing various disciplines, exercise level, everything from HIIT to traditional cardio to, core training. I like to keep it versatile. I never do just one particular discipline. I like to do multiple things. I train 5-6 days a week, and it's not until you are forced to stop that you realize how much that sucks because you get used to it and you need it, and then you really need it. And, so obviously I had to stop, particularly since it was abdominal surgery for almost 2.5 months before I got cleared to go back into it. It's so exhausting though, because as I was discussing with my cardiologist, part of you feels like you're starting all over again. And he said that's actually a very true or real effect. Measured against pro athletes who have to take time off for one reason or another, you lose about 25% of your stamina, 25% of your endurance, and 25% of your lean muscle tissues when you haven't been able to do your thing in a couple of months. And I'm like, well, there you go. Because now I'm having to work harder to get back to my old baseline, what it was like before I had surgery. So there we are. I'm getting back into it. And like I said, it's a good physical exhaustion. It's like, oh, my body's like, yes, I remember this. Oh my God, this feels so good. And it does. It's like I said, once you get used to it, you get addicted to it. You get addicted to the feeling, the high energy, the endurance, the stamina. And you really do get into that mentality of, I like it, I love it, I want more of it. Because when you slack off your discipline, when you slack off your exercise, oh my God, you get so cranky. I know, I get cranky. You get moody. For sure. Yay, and I'm at full speed again, more or less. But we're a little tired physically. All that being said, you guys, I strongly, intuitively predict that this check-in's might possibly, probably, most definitely surpass 3 hours, just a little bit, especially since we're doing the adapted version of Celtic Cross, which, as we know, I do like to take my time with the Celtic Cross, as one should. Just anticipate a longer read. My day's not done. I still need to pick up Cinnamon from daycare, and I still have my afternoon training to get to, which, once more, you guys, I'm perfectly fine. I love this stuff. Let me tell you, I have what you call a runner's pulse, or I guess an athlete's pulse. If you're not familiar with that, that's when your resting heart rate is incredibly low. It's under average, but it's a healthy under average. Basically, that means my average pulse rate when it's low, when I'm resting, for me, is about 50. And on very low days, when I'm not doing much at all, it can go down to 44 or even 40, which has happened before. So the first time I actually started working with my cardiologist and other medical professionals, they'll always be like, oh, are you a runner or you're dying? So it's... and that's what that's called. And I'm always like, I'm cardio eclectic. Thank you. Okay. Running, elliptical, jazzercise, whatever it is that floats my boat. The point is that I keep it fresh. I keep it interesting because muscle memory is the thing. And once you hit your tolerance gap, you can get bored, you can get burnt out. And, so I always like to keep things mixed. Anyway, I guess it's nice to get back to things after the recovery of the surgery, getting back into writing. I mean, it's been an amazing year. It's been an amazing year. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. And I hope that you guys are doing awesome as well. So yeah, like I said, let's get back to it. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do the adapted. Like I said, Celtic Cross, like always. Take what resonates, leave what does not. If there's more than one energy clearly apparent to you on this board today that I did not call out or personally see, then you feel free to reverse those energies as you see fit. These are, after all, general collective readings, not one-to-one private, which is to say they may not resonate at all, which I know is frustrating, but it's also normal, right? Check your other placements. You'll find yourself in there somewhere. Like always, your sign will be timestamped in the description box as well as the comments because I got you. You guys. The file is loading. That's where I'm at right now. Yeah, no, how could I have forgotten? Scorpio, honey, happy birthday. Yay. We enter Scorpio season just a couple days ago, October 23rd. Yay, happy early birthday to my beautiful Scorpios. Let me know if you're an October baby. Yeah, I'm not till November. But yeah, you guys, happy birthday to Scorpio. I know. Okay, there's that. It's like, how dare you forget? I try not to. I do try to remember everybody's birthday. Okay, it's a lot. It's just a lot going on. There's 12 of you. And you all have roughly 4 weeks out of the year to say happy birthday to. So, all right, you guys, I'll see you at your sign, of course, and I will see you at the Sunday check-in. Take care. Be well. Leo, you're up first. What's going on? Show me Leo, please. What's going on for Leo? What's going on for Leo, please? Very good. The Eight of Pentacles. Mm-hmm. The Star. Yeah. The Lovers is crowning you. Gorgeous. Five of Cups is in the past. Good. Let it stay there, yeah? Exiting a sense of I don't know. Two of Pentacles before you, the future, the High Priestess. Wow. Look at you. Look at you go. Look at you grow. Look at you glow. Leo, honey, this is gorgeous. Strengths. You. King of Wands. So that's the definition of feeling yourself, honey. The Knights of Pentacles in your environment, taking your time. Well done. The Hopes and Fears, Knights of Wands, and the outcome is Ace of Cups. No kidding. Yeah, that's great. And you're also showing me, by the way, and I appreciate this for you, your reading here, at least at the baseline value, is not heavily concentrated in one particular subject. So I like it when folks jump around. It's nice to see a little bit of this and that. Trust me, I appreciate it. I love a diverse salad bar, you know? Guess you have a diverse salad bar today, but I like it. You've shown me so much a personal sense of knowing and growing, personhood, individuation, wanting to strive and reach for so much more. I mean, it's all here, personally, professionally. I mean, you're great, honey. You're absolutely gorgeous. You're showing me this lovely roadmap of personal development and what's important to you and why, and how your job as a human being is to constantly grow based on your standards. Yes, and how you would live your life as you define it, and that's absolutely bloody gorgeous. Eight of Pentacles straight away at the heart of the reading. I can see that you're busy with work. You made that very, very clear, but you're good at it. Eight of Pentacles, you're the master of your craft. You're like, I got it. I'm just knocking these pentacles out. I'm all about achieving my star, and you're actually well on your way. So even though it's in the crossing position, it's active with the Eight of Pentacles, so that is fantastic. Whatever it is your goal is in terms of work, career, personal sense of security, reaching for something higher a little bit more every day, okay? You're well on that way to the star. You said it's very important to you, okay? And you're not alone. At least spiritually, you're not alone. I have a lover's connection that crowns you. And in that respect, even if it's not physically with you, I don't know. But you are very spiritually and emotionally connected to someone who you feel inspires you. In some way it comforts you. It crowns you. So it's on your mind a lot. But you always seem to have this person at the forefront of your mind when you are really applying your best skills and abilities to what you do every day in the real world. You're saying it's important to you, and that this person who would influence you would want you to achieve your goals, personally and professionally. So I don't know where they are in the context of the physical to you, if they're right there beside you, cheerleading you, or if this is just someone who gives you inspiration every day. This person who would inspire you to do your best in your goals every day, make those dreams come true. You're like, I'm doing it, and you do so with this person, bare minimum, in mind and in spirit, even if they're not right there with you. Okay. It's interesting. It's hard to tell in the crowning position. So the influence is real. Whether or not the physical influence is there, I don't know. Could be. If they are, then you are blessed indeed. Beautiful. But if this is someone whom you're tied to in a stronger context of the universe and energetic connectivity, you think about them while you apply your labors and how they would want you to. Now, Five of Cups is in your past. Good. Let's let it stay there. Don't get me wrong. We all have Five of Cups. If you're a human being, are you alive? Do you have a pulse? Yeah, you're going to have a Five of Cups. This is memories of the past. You know, we experience this, and it's so easy, guys, to romanticize pain and hurt of the past and live in it, memorialize it, and visit it every day. I don't recommend that. I do understand and very much appreciate the idea of I will learn from my past experiences, but I won't allow it to overrule or overtake my life. I still have other things in me to achieve. And that's what many of you choose to do. Your past experiences stay in the past, but you don't neglect them. You learn from them, right? It's like where I was and where I am today are two different people. Okay. So if it's in the past, that means it can still currently influence you. That's fine. Right? We still want to learn from it. Just don't allow it to overrule your better judgment of who you are, what you're doing, and why. That you can be happy. And that you should be. And yet you should want to strive and to work for other things. Okay? So, I like that position. If the Five of Cups must make an appearance, that's good. Okay? Two of Pentacles. Now that's happy. That's good. I like this. The Two of Pentacles. There's something in your 3D world that you struggle with that's exiting. And now you've applied a full base of knowledge to one particular area of expertise or skill. So for those of you I'm looking at, you had multiple roles, you dropped them, and you focus now, on one core activity, okay? And then for others of you, in that sense of sometimes I'm always on the defense, I'm sorry, not always on the defense, that's not what I meant, always on the fence, and I go back and forth. Some of you have dropped that habit, and you're like, you know what, I'm just going to launch myself into this and hope it works. So whether or not you had to give up multiple skills, roles, responsibilities, or jobs, and you decided to concentrate on one core thing, congratulations. Beautiful. Your time, energy, and effort was well spent. And for others of you who've always kind of had an issue with going back and forth on a particular subject and what to do about it, it seems those times are behind you now as well. Either way, it's all good. Because look at that focus. Things become so clear when we have a goal and a strong influence, and we know what we're doing and why. We stop questioning ourselves. We stop questioning the pain of the past, and we allow it to stay there. It's like that served its job. It served its function. This is what I'm doing now, and I'm putting the best of myself into it. So that sense of prolonged pain and confusion, you're saying, those days are behind me. I know what I'm doing now, and that's what counts now. Yes, I agree. Okay. Before your future, the High Priestess, strong sense of intuition. It's coming soon. What it is you'll be intuitively feeling, I could not say. Just do your best to pay attention to it. Feel it. Okay? We can't plan it, not really. But it can gently navigate us in the right ways if we just listen. So, if we're no longer tuning into old past pains and disappointments, but we choose to learn from them, and we no longer go back and forth on subjects anymore, or we're not overly preoccupied anymore, we're going to be in a really excellent position to listen to ourselves soon. I'm very curious who that lover is to you. Are they with you in the 3D? Are they by your side? Or is this someone whom you're connected to and it still inspires you? Very curious. Feel free to answer that if you're so inclined. King of Wands, that's you, honey. Right there in the Strengths position. You are very much in tune with you. Unapologetically so, as you should be. That is your natural state of grace energy. Someone who is naturally fiery, ambitious, forward-focused, forward-meaning, one foot in front of the other, right? I shall not be dissuaded. And if the path is not before me, I will trailblaze it. No problem. You're very much in tune with who you are. And what I really like is unapologetic. That's the way it should be. It's like, this is me. I have my faults. We all have faults. But I know who I am at the end of the day. And you can't put a price on that. A lot of people don't know who they are at the end of the day. You do. You wake up with that knowledge and you go to bed with that knowledge. You really can't do things like this unless you have a very square understanding of who you are. So good job. Your fundamentals of who you are as a person are in place. That's going to make a wealth of difference, really. Knight of Pentacles. In your environment, yeah, you're taking your time. This is a non-rushed issue. So for those of you who had to drop that busyness, you're kind of really enjoying this pace now of turning down your gears. Again, once more, congratulations. If you manage to consolidate some sort of overly fussy busyness. Okay, that took a lot away from what you're doing because now you're focusing on what looks like one core subject. And in so doing, you actually brought a lot of peace and stability into your household. It's still, or your environment, I should say. It still moves forward, but at a pace that you seem very, very, very comfortable with. I love it. I love it. Now, your Knight of Wands is in your hopes and fears. Now, that's interesting because that is indeed your particular night. You wonder about the speed of things because I see your environment. You do. You like it. You seem to be thriving under this. But you can't help but wonder, Christina, all the busyness, the high energy. Is it a good thing I slacked off? Or should I be more in touch with that? Should I be concerned? No, honey, I think your environment is very much a reflection of the state you're in. You don't need to rush this. There's no need to. And I don't think it speaks to a lack of energy on your part at all. No, no, no. Remember that? Okay? This guy's going to have much more natural energy that he's in tune with, and therefore can better pace it. Okay? So, Leo, I'm looking at sometimes it occurs to you, is it a good thing or a bad thing? I'm not so out the door these days. It's okay. Sometimes it's nice to leave the door at a nice casual pace. Just, not everything has to have a punch of, coffee behind it or caffeine or whatever. You don't always need it. So long as you know what you're doing and what you're about, your energy flow is going to be fine. Okay? I want you to relish this, especially if we're no longer making that space of unnecessary busyness or, I don't know. We get rid of that. Things have a lovely way of slowing down. And we get to be more in tune with what the heck's going on. So no, don't worry about this. Don't worry. You'll have your days, you'll have your hours, you'll have your weeks where it's like you got an extra shot of adrenaline. But for the most part, enjoy this ride. You've worked hard to create it, yes? And the Ace of Cups is in your outcome. When? I don't know. I could say, oh, Leo, honey, look at your heart. It's so gorgeous. It's so full. And I could do because it's supposed to be the singular self. I'm not saying it that way this way. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure you have a beautiful heart space. But you've already kind of shown me that. No. In your outcome, for some of you, simply, classically, it's the opportunity of new love. You already kind of showed me the fullness of who you are. You didn't really need to show me a beautiful, relaxed heart space. No. This is new love for some of you on the horizon in time. Could it be with this? Could it be a renewed cup? We must remember the word new is in renew. The aces can stand for renewed. Is it refreshed with this lover? I don't know. Is it something else altogether? I don't know. But I imagine you will. At the pace you're going, it seems to me that outcome then was inevitable. Yeah? Let's get some advice. Oh, the chair's extra squeaky today. Oh. Judgment, Queen of Cups. Oh, the devil. Oh, my goodness. How interesting. Some of you had to make some very, very... I was not expecting that advice today. You've done a lot more work than you initially presented. Some of you had to make very strong judgments in the past that while you might have loved strongly, that doesn't mean it was good. That confuses people. How can I love something so strongly and it can feel so bad? Isn't my love good? Isn't my love pure? I have to tell this to people all the time. Love comes in a many variety of shades and intensities and types. You can have love and feel love strongly. That doesn't mean it was good or healthy, right? I can't help but look very suspiciously at that Five of Cups in the past, the one that you can still access and feel, but you don't allow it to overwhelm your life anymore. You learned from it. I told you that very distinctly. Rewind me if you don't believe me. So how deep did that lesson go, my dear? Very strong lesson there about love, possessive of love, and how love should make us feel and how it shouldn't. It shouldn't make us feel crazy. It can be strong, but that doesn't mean it should make us feel crazy, weird, or bad, or feeling like we're part of something toxic, or that our love is going somewhere toxic in ourselves or to somewhere else. There was a lot rocking in that Five of Cups. So by all means, just because it's in the past doesn't mean it's over. No, no, no. Past experiences means we can still access it, learn from it. This is what happened to me. You don't want to wear it full time, otherwise you will never grow, shift, or change. And you've made that very clear to me. This is important to you. So I know you still learn from this. Some of you guys had quite the whopper. Is that the lover here that crowns you? May not necessarily be with you physically, but you learn a great deal from them spiritually. You're still glad then that you connected to them. But you also had to learn why it was wrong for you. But the influence is still apparent to this day. Did I call it? Let me know. Let me know as you see fit, as you're comfortable. Okay then. It seems then your Ace of Cups in future is indeed new. Absolutely. You can have these strong connections and therefore provoke very strong reactions. And how something is felt versus how it plays out are two different things. So we take that lesson with us and it influences us every day. We learn from it. We don't abandon the lesson, we learn from the lesson. You're ready. Well done. A couple of charms. Yours went on fairly long, but that's all right. I liked yours. We have the letter R and E. That's it. Leo, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Sag. What's up? What's going on? Show me Saggy, please. What's going on for Sag? I'll tell you what, we'll be in your birthday season before we know it. We just got into Scorpios, but it always feels like, I don't know, I always feel like the season ahead, you know? And I always enjoy your season. I do. It's nice. It must be nice though, right? Let me know if you have fun in your season. I would hope you do. I really do. What's going on? Show me Sag, please. I'm always interested. Curious, because I do not, like most people, have a diversified birth chart. I have Saggy, Aries, Libra, Scorpio. Yeah. That's it. So, that's it. It's not diversified. It's shockingly not diversified. It's highly concentrated. And people ask me, why are you like that? Well, that's typically why. So let me know if you enjoy being a dominant Sag. I have 2 Saggy placements, and I feel it when it happens. Knight of Pentacles, 3 of Wands, crowning you, King of Cups. In the past, Knight of Wands, exiting the High Priestess. And before you, the Emperor. Okay. It's looking like you are trading up some skills here, but it looks like you're also ready for that transition too. Okay, cool. Strengths. And Queen of Cups, 7 of Wands in your environment. Interesting. 6 of Wands in the hopes and fears. Outcome 2 of Wands, kind of a wait and see. You are shifting modalities and it's looking like it's by choice. It planned. I would almost say planned. Don't get me wrong, it took you a long time. Right there at the heart of the reading, the Knights of Pentacles, which is an unusual pace for you. Not that it's unheard of, it's just unusual. 3 of Wands crossing. It took you a long time to recognize that there's something in you that you would like to shift and change a little bit. And it's interesting. Once it caught up to you as in terms of an idea or a feeling or belief that you can fully adopt now. But where it's coming from is from a very stretched out background. Okay. It's not like you were consciously waiting. You were so 3 of Wands is in the crossing position. It's just showing me time that it took you to catch up between where you were headed for some time and you recognizing it. And now that you're recognizing it, you're like, okay, let me fully adopt this. And it's not really, like I said, a conscious thought. This is more like a feeling of this is where I came from and I've been moving in this direction this whole time. I see it now. All right, let's embrace that for where it is. So I'm not saying any elements here that are bad. It's just you're showing me I was here, and now I want to go over here. I see that now. And it seems to be working for you. Okay. So like I said, there's such a slow movement. And what's crowning you is this King of Cups. And I'm very much seeing that as you. There is a fullness of heart, of love that you have for yourself. This you are aware of. This is at the seat of your mind, is actually your heart space. You're saying that you have done a job of preparing your heart for a sense of readiness, how you love yourself. And excuse me, throat's still dry. And in that process of loving yourself, you're saying, I'm in tune with my intuition already. That's interesting. That's going to come into play later. Past experience, Knights of Wands. Now, that's something I would absolutely associate with you. You're like, I used to be all energy all the time. Used to be a live wire. And many of you are still going to be able to access that feeling because it's in your past position. That doesn't mean it's over. That means it's something that you're familiar with. That means you can experience it again. But you're like, once upon a time, Christina, I was a go-getter. Once I was up, I was up, I was up, and I was going, and I was going. And then I didn't stop until I was ready for bed. And he's like, you see how you kind of slowed down, though? And it's not an accusation. I'm just saying you're catching up to, this is my new pace. This is my new norm. You're still you. It's just how you are presenting your story these days has changed a little bit from swiftness and boldness and there's no stopping me, don't hold me back to, you know what? You've heard of ramping up. Well, we're going to go ahead and ramp down or gear down. You're like, I'm loving myself these days. I'm already intuitive. I don't need to go out there and just rush at things anymore. I can take my time, and it looks like I was headed in this direction, so let's go ahead and go with that. Now, what's interesting to me is the High Priestess is on the exit. You're saying, I don't have to be so intuitive these days. I can rely more on my direction and sense of self because you're moving into Emperor mode. So it's not that it's bad here. Had you shown me anything else here in your immediate future, I might have been concerned, as it were. I'm not. Because you also showed me I'm already feeling intuitive because I love myself. So you're absolutely right. When the King and Queens showed up with water, part of that package, okay, is the intuitive self. So you're saying I don't need my intuition to guide me so much these days. I'm not flying around by the seat of my pants anymore. I'm doing things calmly with a more planned disposition or a planned point of view. And you like it. It feels good to sit down these days and feel solid about oneself, to be in control of oneself, right? To be much more of a visible, empowered presence. It's like, I've had years of just putting myself out there into the world, having high energy, and feeling along the way about where I should be. You're like, now I'm going to try sitting on the throne for a while. See how I do there, because it seems like I was headed in that direction anyway. Yeah, you were. So, it's interesting. You went from a flow state and being active to, okay, I like where I'm at. Let's hang out here. Let's hang out here. Let's let other people do some work these days. I've kind of earned my place to sit down at the throne. Feeling that is correct for you. And that's the overall sense. It's not one factor about why this is. This just seems to be where you were headed. So intuitive you are. You have some really strong water in your chart. Queen of Cups is in your strengths. You really pride yourself on knowing how you feel. That you know how to be vulnerable. That you know how to express yourself from the heart. That you know how to be intuitive. It's no wonder then the High Priestess is on the exit. You're already highly intuitive because you are highly aware of your own feeling. Sometimes you're silent about it. Sometimes you're verbal about it. It's not the point. You have access to your feelings. You don't deny them. You're saying it's part of who I am, right? You're like, in somewhere between my empowerment and my wanting to slow down, I'm in touch with myself. It's okay. I don't have to be in my intuitive state all day, every day. So I said I'm not too worried about you. Your environment is a little bit more on the strategic side, 7 of Wands. You're saying you're cautious right now in your environment. that you have boundaries up, you have walls up. Okay, you're not easily accessible these days. Given the kind of power stance you showed me today, I'm going to take your word on that and say if that's what's true for your environment, so be it. Perhaps you're just being highly selective about who's allowed in your environment. Perhaps you don't want anyone disturbing your fabulous peace right now. I get that. So you're showing me cautious boundaries. Very few have access to my environment, or a select few, or my chosen people have access to my environment, not necessarily anybody who comes around looking, right? So there you go. You will exercise and enforce boundaries. It's looking like you worked very hard to go from a high energy, naturally fluid, intuitive state to, I can afford to calm down now and let things ride out because I'm secure with me. You know, P.S. I'm still intuitive. I'm a strong feeler. And I'm protective of my environment. You're making it very clear. Not everyone can access that. I understand. 6 of Wands is in your hopes and fears. Will I be triumphant in the end? Do I have a right to feel triumphant? Do I have a right to feel successful? Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Is this an ego thing? How come I feel so good about myself? Is it right? Is it wrong? I think it's interesting you're asking that question. I think you deserve, obviously, a lot of the peace that you are showing me here today. More than peace. Strong sense of self. And when you truly understand empowerment and you truly understand your heart space, you're going to want peace. You're going to want to crave it and defend it. So no, I don't think you're over the top. I don't think you're being, egotistical at all. I think you're doing what it is that you've earned to do. Overall, again, it's not pinpointed to like last week, guys. I'm looking at a lifetime of energy shifting from I'm open and I'm available and I pursue and I pursue and I pursue intuitively to I don't have to pursue shit. I've done all this. I like being me. I have an open heart. I know my feelings. I don't deny them. I still listen to myself. It's just now I do it from a throne. I'm not running around trying to take care of things anymore. I don't have to do that. Those days are over. You know? So no, you have a right to feel good about it. You have a right to feel triumphant. Okay? You earned it. You earned it. Hopes and fears are guaranteed nothing. It's simply a reflection of who we are. That mirror is one and the same. There's going to be times when you feel like you're uncomfortable with the recognition of what you have achieved. And there's going to be times where you feel very comfortable because, again, you earned it. Now, the outcome is the 2 of Wands. Again, it's really not the idea here so much as waiting. It's just you being an active participant where you are now, living now, not really looking off into the horizon that is the future, but where are you now, being appreciative of the moment. 2 of Wands has a lot of subtle but important interpretations. Living in the moment, communicating, thinking, and making decisions in the moment, reflecting on what's in the world now, not in the past and not in the future, right there. And that's where you should be. We should all be there. This is where I'm at right now, and I like where I'm at. Who knows where I'll be tomorrow? I know where I came from. But it's enough to just exist, make decisions, and reflect upon my world now. You're living for the now. Okay? Let's get some advice for you. I like what you've done, though. You've earned your peace, honey. You've earned... Look at that. Right there in the split, too. That Queen of Cups with the 6 of Wands. I know. You're so uncertain about that. Do I have a right to feel good about this? Yeah, you do. Goodness knows. Because I get that, man. This is really hearkening back to the youth, and I always used to run around crazy, and I'd listen to myself as best I could, and I was always out there, putting my energy out there, trying to, I'm out there. Now, whatever's out there comes to me now. So, yeah. I understand that hesitation. Do I have a right to feel good about this? Yes, you do. For the Sag I'm looking at, you've earned it. Okay? All right. Some of you are very successful in work. That's not random. That's planned, practiced, skills, discipline, over and over. Okay. I don't think we need to push the advice for you. I think this speaks very well for itself today. 8 of Pentacles, the 6 of... Six of Wands and the Six of Swords. Yeah, okay. We got to leave that feeling behind, guys. Some of you did an amazing job. Eight of Pentacles, the Six of Wands, and the Six of Swords. And for some of you, by the way, the Six of Swords isn't always a blunt leaving. Sometimes it is simply a sense of travel or space. And here, you give yourself that sense of space. You've worked hard. Give yourself that sense of space. For some of you, this is such a concern. Did I do well enough? Did I do well enough to receive the recognition I have today? Never mind, feel good about it. The answer is yes. Get some space from that. All right? You earned a particular pathway that'll set you up for what looks like a very strong sense of self and triumph. So give yourself some breathing room from that. All right? So you've earned your breaks. You've worked hard. Okay. Just continue to be you. You'll be fine. And for others of you who are wondering if you can afford to take some space for yourself, the answer is yes. Okay. Oh my goodness. Don't worry about it. Six of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Ace of Wands. Goodness me. It's funny, you showed me such a strong feeling of character. But on your advice, it really came down through, I'm sorry, we're very tired today. And so it's been pretty hard. Six of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Ace of Wands. Man, look at that. You had to be your most intuitive self when you were trying to generate opportunities and activity. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Yeah, I knew it. That Saggy here who used to be or is still coming down from that sense of go-getter, 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 right? There's opportunities. I understand this. I remember this in my youth, honey. These opportunities aren't just going to fall in my lap. I got to make them my damn self, right? So you worked so hard. And you were always in this position of trying to generate opportunity for you and keep the enthusiasm and keep the hope alive and the passion. And look at that strong sense of feeling and optimism. And I can do this. I can do this. I can create these balances. I can create these work opportunities. I can create stability. Look at that. You can shift away from that now. Mission accomplished, honey. Mission achieved. Goodness me. Yeah, please give yourself permission to shift those gears down. Stay in the moment. Live in the moment. You've earned this. All right. Beautiful. Choose a new direction. For some of you, you're primed for a new direction. Maybe that's why you're looking out there on the horizon. What's my next thing? One where I'm not chasing it and I'm not creating it. What's next for me? Because now you have that space for yourself. You created it, right? You get to ask yourself, what is my next choice? What is my next direction? What's my next thing that I want to do? Not because I feel I have to, but because I want to. Big difference in language, yes? Okay. Choose a new direction. I love it. All right, we have the Medine here of Libra in the reverse, the key word here being charming. Some of you can be very, very charming. We have the butterfly in the upright. Good. Time for transformation, time for change. At your choosing. You really came into your own. You know what I'm saying? This is post-transformation. I know some of you are thinking about what's your next thing, but honestly, who you are, you've transformed beautifully. We have the camel here, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, but that's not really the point. It's the conservation of one's resources, particularly it's water or emotions. So some of you are big feelers, but you know when to keep your feelings to yourself. That's part of the intuitive process as well. Just trust it. And then we have the fall. For some of you, this is a feeling. What I'm talking about, you're feeling it now. Whilst we are in fall, for those of you who live in the northern hemisphere, for those of you who are in the southern, your version of fall is when some of you will be experiencing these very things, and it's beautiful. Saggy, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Aries, welcome to your Thursday check-in. Show me Aries, please. What's going on for Aries? Show me Aries. Ace of Cups, Page of Cups, Crowning, Page of Wands, excuse me, the Hierophant in the past, exiting with Nine of Pentacles, before you Seven of Wands, okay. Huh. How interesting. Huh. Strengths of the world, okay. The Wheel of Fortune's in your environment. Reflection, Four of Swords, and the hopes and fears, outcome, Page of Swords. Okay. A lot of pages here today. A lot of pages. Trying to kind of represent larger subjects, so it still feels very tentative, which means, from my experience, these kind of readings are the least conclusive and most likely to change. Because what I'm seeing now is going to have a lot of space and or flexibility to change. So this is, from my point of view, what you might call a temporary signature, very temporary. It's not going to be as long-standing. So my point is, based on what I'm seeing here today, and it's even here at the Wheel of Fortune, is the most subject to change. So if it's your reading, I understand. You'll know sooner rather than later. But also do keep in mind, what happens or doesn't happen has nothing to do with tarot. It's down to how well we know ourselves and allow ourselves to open up and understand these things and thus start making different decisions. So what I'm saying here, I would not put a lot of absolutes on this one, nor any collective reading, right? Tarot doesn't dictate action, you do. Tarot is the proof of choice, not the absence of it. And right now I'm looking at energy that can easily be swayed like in an hour, never mind in a couple of days, you know? It's temporary. Something here is shifting, and it's, while it comes across as shut down now, it may not be that way tomorrow. So let's back up. At the heart of reading, Ace of Cups, love. Feeling like we could be in love. Feeling like there could be new love, or renewed love, but a feeling of being in love, having the fullness of heart. It's there. Page of Cups is crossing. Okay, fine. Not a big deal. What we feel then is much larger than what we've allowed to express outwards, you know. But it's there. It's very large. It's a very strong feeling. But accessing it has been a challenge. Allowing it to speak for itself has been a challenge, if at all. I honestly don't know where one is with their heart. I just know you feel a lot, but the expression of it's gone sideways. But it's a little guy. That tells me, for who I'm looking at here, if you really wanted to speak your feelings, you could. If you really wanted to express them or show them, you could. Not much is standing in the way. Little Page of Cups isn't... No. It's looking like you've chosen not to at this point. Page of Wands is crowning you. And again, another page. It's like, I could be open to it. I want to be open to it. It's a little guy, you know, Page of Wands, but he's cute. He's in that respect of having the most sense of curiosity, the one most associated with having just a little bit of nerve. That's what the openness is. I'll try it out. I'll try anything once, kind of, maybe. I'm a little bit nervous there, but that's why he's sweet. He's the bravest of all the pages. So it's a little bit of nerve crowning you. It's like, I could do it. I could open up. I could open up. It's sweet, you know, in its own way. And then the Hierophant, now where'd he come from, right? So he's in the past position. And the Hierophant, so past doesn't mean it's over. I always have to clarify that for people. The past means if you've experienced in the past, it still affects you or is with you to this day. Either it's still influencing you or it's something that you can give credit to in terms of a learning experience. The point is, if you experienced it once, you can experience it again. It still influences you. You learn from it, that kind of thing. So in your past, I know you know what it is to be committed. I know you know what it is to access your higher self. I know you know what it is to stand behind the weight of your own authority of this is what's correct for me. That's what the commitment element is here. I know you know what it is to access a higher sense of self, to be spiritually guided and say, this is what I stand for, right? These are my norms. These are my traditions. These are my self-regulating practices. So I know you know what that is. And if it's that strong for you in the past, yes, you can absolutely achieve that again in present day. Absolutely. For some of you, the Hierophant energy is a normal way of life from your past and into your present. Except this suggests flexibility and openness and a willingness to try something new, feel something new, and express yourself differently. And it might be coming into conflict with everything that you know about yourself. And again, that's why I'm seeing kind of flexible and or temporary signature for you today. Because these two have quite the task of trying on something different or doing something different, operating differently, believing in something differently, feeling something differently, and willing to express it differently compared to perhaps where you've come from. See what I'm saying? And it feels so new to you. How to do it? Should you do it? Is that part of your identity? Nine of Pentacles is on the exit. I'm not saying that is you. I'm not saying that is you. I don't know who that is. But it looks like a singular individual person has exited your life. What their influence is to you, I don't know. It just feels like it's outside of you. Don't get me wrong. I could say you're not as familiar with your independent state as you used to be. Your sense of self, and perhaps that's exited. Like, I can't do anything on my own. Don't get me wrong. For some of you might feel like that. I honestly feel that for some of you, that's someone who's outside of you, and it seems that they have exited your life. I don't know if it's a full-time exit, a permanent exit. I don't know. But someone who knows what it is to stand on their own 2 feet, to take pride in who they are, to accumulate a sense of experience and therefore security of the self, independent state of existence, an individual, bare minimum, doesn't seem to be present with you in physical day reality. Okay? 7 of Wands is before you in future. For now, I see you kind of standing guard, not really allowing what it is you're feeling out. Like I said, those pages seem like they have a heck of a job, and I don't think that they're willing to open up just yet. There's still this question of, I don't know if it's me or if that's right for me. Okay. And so until then, I see you standing your guard. All right? I can't help but think that this, not knowing what else to do just yet. The feeling's not strong enough. The belief isn't strong enough. Your willingness to back it up isn't strong enough yet. And that's not an accusation, so don't take it as one. That's just what I'm seeing here today. Like I said, this is what I literally feel like I'm seeing for you today. Who knows what it's going to be tomorrow? So now the world is in your strengths. There's this idea of I'm willing to accept beginnings and I'm willing to accept that there are endings. This is the way of life. I agree with you. And the better you understand that, so much the better. The more you understand that, so much the better. You have to excuse me, I'm tired. It's a long day, as I think I might have explained in the intro. Don't know. It's already gone. But yeah, no, that's a good strength to have. I agree with you. Cycles are normal. They're natural. They're healthy. And they must be. Whether we like them or not, they must be. Right? With beginnings, we have endings and vice versa. And it's almost like you're showing me, well, I accept that. That means if I open up to this, what am I losing? Is that what's on your mind? You know? Or I'm not willing to create endings, even if it means a beginning. Because you understand the cycle. You do. You say it's part of your strength. Good. But you also kind of see it as a prohibitor or consequence. If I'm going to open up, what does that suggest then I'm losing? You know? Maybe you're right. What is it you have to gain? There's that question too. The Wheel of Fortune's in your environment. You have given me a suggestion that you can see where you've come from, that you're knowledgeable. You've seen some cycles come and go in your life. Yes, you can reflect on those. That's why the world obviously is in your strengths category, as it should be. The Wheel of Fortune's in your environment. So while I can see that you carefully reflect on the past and your past experiences, you might be missing an obvious point that's right under your nose. Your environment's changing too. It's not just what you can reflect on in past, but how you might be propelled in future. So that Wheel of Fortune, is it going to turn in your favor or turn against you? Because there's this idea that change is in the air for you. And you want to know if you can greet it and mean it, but at what cost? Based on past experiences, it hasn't been that good. But you also can't deny that good things have come out of change too. You see how temporary this one feels? Very temporary. What's hitting your radar that makes you think about the past changes, the past cycles, and how you've been through them? You came out the other side. And where does that leave you today? And what feels like it's changing? for tomorrow. There's a winds of change element in here. I don't know how in tune you are with it. Why else would I be seeing questions for you? Four of Swords is in your hopes and fears. You hope to heal something, you fear to as well. You hope things will change you hope things will change for the better, you hope things won't change at all. Page of Swords is in your outcome. There's a strong sense of I don't know anything right now. It's so tentative. This whole baseline is so tentative. The acceptance of change, I sense it, I feel it. Change is inevitable. I don't know if I should be happy about that, if I should greet it and commit to it, or kind of stick tight to where I am and hope things don't change too much. What do you really want? What do you really want? So I don't blame you for holding your stance. I don't want you to make a move until you feel like you can, whatever that is to you. But please know, with or without your pages willing to activate, that Wheel of Fortune is still spinning. It's not just a safe haven for reflections of the past, but how you move forward into the future. I'm sorry it's so light, but this energy is not going to be suited for long term. It just isn't. It's literally in flux right now for the Aries I'm looking at. Three of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, there they are. We used to connect with this person until radically one day we did not. The Tower, Three of Cups. We used to enjoy this person's company until one day radically it shut down. What happened? Do we associate this person with radical or violent change? Why? Things have stopped or paused ever since then. Why does this person represent so much change to you? We used to comfortably connect, and I mean comfortably connect with this person. And they did too, of their own free will with you. Until one day it didn't. It feels like nothing's changed and everything's changed ever since. Why do we perceive this person with such a strong sense of change? Did this person provoke your heart? Did they provoke your heart and this was an unexpected journey for you? But we don't know if we can back that feeling. Never mind be open towards it. And yet even you acquiesce, even you admit that change and cycles are inevitable. Fascinating read for you, Aries, honey. Fascinating. The Fool, Six of Wands, Seven of Swords. There could be a new beginning here for you with confidence, but you don't trust its origin. Seven of Swords and Six of Wands, very loosely. You don't trust the feeling of it. This sense, it feels like a new beginning for some of you, is related to ego and pride. Almost a pretense. How dare I have a new beginning for myself? How dare I? Who do I think I am? To have a new beginning? Who am I to have a new beginning? Who am I to dare open up to love? Who am I? Yes, changes and cycles are all well and good. I've had some of my own fair share, but how dare I? How dare I? Seven of Swords is the subtraction. It's a negative element to a positive standing otherwise. Who am I to have a new beginning? Who indeed are you? New beginnings and happiness. How dare I be happy? Happy in love. There's a cost element in here that I see, and it's briefly touched on. If I open up to new beginnings, what does that mean I lose? And who am I, by the way? Who am I to have a new beginning and dare enjoy it? Perhaps then we should start thinking about what it is we have to gain. Oh. There's that sense of weight. Yeah, I have to agree. It's in that respect of don't move till you see it. I have too many pages here trying to float larger ideas. Okay, so right now everything is kind of like wait. And I don't mean wait as in wait for another person. I would never advise that. This is you waiting on yourself to have a better understanding or clear picture of what it is that you want to see for the focus of your future, based on what you've experienced in the past, how this person or situation proposed some radical insight and or energy about a dynamic for which you felt something and I believe provoked your heart space and it was an unexpected journey for you. And what does that say about you now? And what does that mean for your future, if anything? So yes, don't move until you see it. I really don't like it when I see that much temporary floating energy over larger concepts. That means we don't have enough weight behind this to back up actions. So you might provoke an action that you can't stand behind because you don't have enough developed here to stick to it. Or you kind of disavow the whole thing, say none of this is for me. And that's the worst decision you could make. Okay, so don't move until you see it. And only you can tell you when you're ready in either direction. Yes. Yes. Okay. We have the letters C, D, T, the cat. Someone here is highly intuitive. I believe that's you. We need you to access that, honey. We have the medallion of Pisces, harmonizing one's feelings, emotions. Some of you might have some very interesting Pisces in your chart. However, for some of you, next Pisces season might be interesting. We have the medallion of Virgo, but the key word here being practical, okay? Some of you feel this very strong need to be practical about this, and what you're feeling for it defies practicality. Oh, yes. I've seen that argument before, and I will continue to see it. We have these small feminine deco art glasses, okay? Okay. Aries, honey, I do hope this helped you. It's quite fascinating. It really was, but once more, what I see here today, there might be a stronger insight and or feeling developed tomorrow. All right, so take this one with a certain level of lightness, and that's if you resonate with it. Regardless, I hope it helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Aquarius, what's up? Show me Aquarius, please. What's going on for Aquarius? Show me Aquarius, please. Ace of Swords, your master symbol. Knight of Swords crossing. The High Priestess crowning you. Okay. Knight of Pentacles in your past, exiting. Queen of Wands before you, the future. Strength. Okay. Strength is Four of Cups. Interesting. Four of Wands is in your environment. Judgment is in your hopes and fears. Understandably so. Two of Wands in the outcome. You need to make a present-based decision, not a past-based one. I think you know this, so let's back up. Ace of Wands. Ace of Swords. Your master symbol, yes? You know what you know, and what you know is pretty darn sharp. You got a high level of knowledge here, master knowledge too. That means you accept it, you accept the weight of it, the truth of it, right? There's no going back on that kind of level of knowledge. Once you have a certain level of insight or knowledge, you can't take it back. Doing something about it, two different things, right? Still the sword, responsible for action, communication, getting in there, taking care of business, right? You're like, I know what I know. My actions have not caught up to what I know just yet. So I seem to have got you in a middle ground between very much accepting a hard truth and then acting on it. Two different things, at least for right now. Things are still developing. And then I see the decision later down the line. So let's keep going. The High Priestess is crowning you. Excellent. I say that because that's a brilliant combination. One should never be forgotten in light of the other. We need to know what we know based on rational thought, okay, insight and inquiry, but also our intuition, the two eyes. Intelligence and intuition should work together. They are friends, not enemies. They're not mutually exclusive in terms of one or the other. We need both. So somewhere between knowing what you know and feeling what you feel, you have yet to take action. It's looking like a plan, but one that's currently in the works. Okay, so you don't want to be brash then. I understand. You don't want to be brash. The Knight of Pentacles in your past says, that's just not my style. You don't move fast. This is something you have experience with. So the Knight of Pentacles, once more in the past position, does not mean it's over. That just means it's something you've experienced before, which means it can be with your present day, or that you can learn from it from a past orientation. The Knight of Pentacles seems to be your preferred speed. You're like, I know what I know and I feel what I feel. But I've decided to not go rushing in there. Based on past experiences, you're saying it's best that I go about things slowly. And the Knights of Pentacles in this respect also can act like a blueprint, a plan. The Knight of Swords, well, you better have a plan in place already when he takes action, because it tends to be fast. So the Knight of Pentacles goes slower and says, I really prize myself on steady effort and therefore have predictable results. So that's what I see you doing. And even there's an element here that's exiting the Queen of Wands that says, we don't do the fiery thing. We don't do the ambitious thing. We don't do the rock and roll, take no prisoners energy thing. No, I'm going to be calm and we're going to be steady. Okay, so no, we don't want any room whatsoever for brash behavior. And I don't know why that's such an important point for you, but you would know best. Whatever it is you're dealing with, you say you're going to take your time with it and that you have the wisdom as well as the feeling to know better. Some things you act on slowly, other things you act on quickly. And you're saying this is not one of those. You don't want the heat energy in there. Perhaps you don't want to be accused of anger. Perhaps you don't want to be accused of... I don't know. I don't know. There's a Queen of Wands here, fire energy, but... Again, there's something here about I don't want heat on this. I don't want to act on this for the wrong reasons. And I still don't know what it is, guys. I have no idea. That's up to you. It could have anything to do with the family dynamic, a work dynamic, situation, place, circumstance, goal, person. It's up to you. I just see your method today. Strength is before you. You're saying, I am going to be strong and we're going to be calm and we're going to do things just so. Strength of will. Again, you have a plan. You're developing a plan and how to back it up using strength of will and soundness of mind, calmness of spirit. Okay, whatever this is done, you want it done just so. Four of Cups is your strength. Now that's interesting. Typically I would disagree when I see something like that in that respect of, if we consider it as strength just to hold on to negative emotions all day, then we're wearing it like a badge of honor. In other words, we're way too proud of how we negatively feel. And that can very much appeal to people romantically in that respect of, I'm sad all the time and you need to know it. There's nothing you can do about it. Woe is me. No. Don't take pity on me. Just continue to let me be unhappy and disappointed. That's enough for me. So that's where a lot of people take it, because the Four of Cups can, honestly, 4 is an extremely powerful number. It creates a circle. And it can create a very negative feedback loop for people who stay in it way too long. You're showing me it's from the position of my strengths in the Four of Cups is I understand where the upset is coming from. I took my time to understand it. I understand the origins of why I'm upset. I understand where these negative emotions are coming from. I understand why I've been lethargic. I understand why I have been disconnected. I understand why I've been unhappy. And that is a proper strength, yes. You're saying you understand where it comes from now. You took your time to understand it. You didn't rush it. And I think what you're showing me is that you're going to carefully articulate what you've been experiencing. And you want to make sure it's not coming from a fiery place, heat of the moment energies. When you deliver this, you want it to be done just so. Let's talk about that. 4 of Wands is in your environment. There's some sort of relationship here, and that relationship is how 2 people build it. It concerns the other person to some extent. So when you tell me the 4 of Cups is your strengths, it's because you went out of your way to understand why you've been unhappy. It's important for you to convey this appropriately to the people who need to hear it, or person. Okay? Judgment is in your hopes and fears. What are we going to make of all this? Did you learn your lesson appropriately? Do you get what's been on your mind and in your heart? Did you understand the lessons? That seems to be a big concern for you. I don't blame you. You really are showing me it's important for you to be understood. You really want to be understood. So you took the time to make sure that what you're thinking is what you're thinking, what you're feeling is what you're feeling. I respect that. So judgment then being in your hopes and fears, which by the way is not an outcome, it's not a guarantee, it is simply a reflection of who we are as human beings. What we fear for the most is often what we hope for and vice versa. You really, really are concerned with, is this karmically correct? Did I get the lesson? Did I get what my guides and spirit or God, however you want to put it, has been trying to tell me? Have I been listening to myself well? Because you really want to be understood. You really do. I think you've done a good job. May whatever it is that you have to deliver be heard well. Okay? 2 of Wands is in your outcome. Again, more decision making, but also as it denotes being in the present oriented. I'm listening to what's going on now. I'm making decisions about what's happening now, not in the past and not in the future. I'm staying right here in the moment. And I see you actively communicating and participating, okay, about what's been on your mind. Okay? Like I said, may you be heard. Whatever this concerns itself with, you've done a very good job understanding it, not rushing it. And that way, when it's time to deliver what you've learned, you can do so with a certain level of confidence that this was correct for you. Your delivery is going to be on point. That's what I want you to have faith in and trust in. You've done a really good job. So I don't know what it is that you need to express that's so important to you. I just know that when you deliver it, it will be done well. Okay? Let's get some advice, please. Let's get some advice. That was your card, by the way. It just tried to pop out with that King of Swords. Of course, that is your king. The Empress, the 10 of Cups, and the 7 of Cups. Well, okay. Really strong sense of empowerment. At the heart of all this, when knowing what you know, we take that aside, you really, really want to be open and to harmonize things between yourself and someone else. Okay? You're saying at the heart of this is family, possibly the love of someone significant, and it doesn't have to be a spouse or partner. That could be with a family member. I don't know. But we really want the best here, to harmonize between yourself and someone else. Okay? The advice is to open up. And we'll see if we can't achieve that rainbow between at least yourself, bare minimum, and someone else. Okay? But it's literally done so with the best in mind. Isn't it interesting? It concerns the feelings of others at the end of the day, but your background work suggests I took my time with this at a logical and intuitive level. Very good. Okay. There it is again. It's been hard. You figured out whatever it is that upsets you and ails you, and it's been very life-altering for some of you. Life-changing. A Abundance. Don't stop. There's a wealth in here. Don't stop. Don't stop. There is the abundance here of harmony and love between yourself, bare minimum, like I said, and someone else, or possibly more. Okay? But there's an abundance here. Don't stop. You're absolutely on the right track, okay? Huh. We just have two things here today. Scorpio's medallion, but it's in the reverse, the key word here being passionate, okay? So you might have some Scorpio in your chart. It could be speaking to Scorpio season, which we're now in, so on and so forth. And then we also have the small dog. This is like the Yorkie, the Terrier, the Chihuahua, so in confirmation, okay? All right, Aquarius, honey, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Gemini, welcome to your Thursday check-in. Show me Gemini, please. Show me Gemini. What's going on for Gemini, please? The Hermit. Crossing 4 cups. Good for you. Crowning Ace of Swords. You're like, I know. Cheeky. The High Priestess. Okay. Past 2 of Wands before you. The Queen of Pentacles. Strengths. The Tower. 6 of Swords is in your environment. My. Okay. All right. 2 of Cups and the hopes and fears, and the outcome is the Page of Swords. Not all is yet known. Okay. Yeah, well, I can see that you're in an interim or space in your life that suggests I'm learning in my own way to accept what feels and looks like radical change. So I'm not going to know everything just yet, nor should you. Makes sense. You opened up straight away with the Hermit. You have been doing a job of healing, specifically reconciling difficult emotions. 4 cups. You're upset. You're upset. But it doesn't challenge you as much as it used to. So that means you put a lot of good work into this, and you will continue to do so. You've walked the path before. You will continue to walk the path now. Whatever it is that ails you, you will figure it out. You will understand where it comes from, why, how long it's had the effect on you it did, what you can learn from it, take from it, and leave from it. That's the Hermit, does all that stuff. That's why he's one of my favorites. He's not someone who's known to be rushed, by the way. You're holding out the lantern. You're shedding light on the situation. But you will conquer that 4 of Cups, I have no doubt. And you don't doubt it much either. You know. Ace of Swords crowns you. You're saying, so long as I have the truth, there's really nothing I can't work through. And I think that's a beautiful disposition to take. I really do. Because you're right. Once you have a certain level of knowledge and you accept it, and it's a powerful truth, you kind of make that your anchor. And everything else around it makes sense. Or it will make sense. It'll fall into place. But so long as you know the truth, there's really nothing you can't heal. You just have to keep that in mind at all times. You know what? No matter how far away you drift away in your healing process, and you will drift in your healing process, because once you start healing other things that you didn't even know were attached to that core issue. Point is, as long as you know what the core truth is, you can drift around like this, but always get back to the main point. So, all that to be said, good job. That's a really good job. Your High Priestess is in the past. Don't worry about that. Past does not mean it's over. That just means if you experienced it once, you can experience it again. A thought, a feeling, a belief, or you learn from it, even if it's like a discontinued belief or feeling. You can still learn from it. So no, I don't think you shut off your intuition at all. I think that you are someone who is comfortable navigating the intuitive space, but you're saying that's not the skill set I'm leaning on these days. What I'm leaning on these days is what I know, and I'm healing it from there. I'll get back into my intuitive waters later. For right now, it's like I'm trying to keep it very grounded. Okay? So no, have you dismissed your High Priestess? No. No. When you get back into that place of feeling comfortable, okay, you'll put the old feelers out there. Those intuitive feelers that creep up like vines, like that, you know? If you've accessed it once, you can do it again. For right now, I see you focusing on grounded territory of knowledge and healing around that knowledge base. Exiting for you, a 2 of Wands, a sense of waiting, indecision, or a line of communication, or something you used to look forward to is no more. Okay? You're like the days of waiting on something to make itself known, or me to make a decision about a particular subject matter, whatever that subject matter is to you. You're like, that's over. I literally do not look forward to that anymore. 2 of Wands tends to be active, present day, decision-making, active day, communication, looking out upon the world, gazing upon it. And there's some waiting. It's not as exaggerated as the Three of Wands, which is much more strung out. This is a general sort of waiting back and forth between decisions and communication and looking forward to something. And you're like, I don't anymore. Okay. And for some of you, that was part of the process here of healing. Whatever that activity was, like, not anymore. I don't look forward to it anymore. I don't look towards it anymore. I don't wait for it anymore. I don't communicate with it anymore. And I'm healing from whatever that used to be. You're doing a good job because the Queen of Pentacles is before you in future. That's how I know you did a good job. A much stronger sense of taking care of yourself these days, particularly as it relates to your physical space, your home, and your sense of self-care, which is tied to, of course, your sense of self-worth. So you might be a little bit more on the homebody these days. That's fine. If that's where you need to be in terms of your grounded experience, then it's doing its job. Okay? You're putting yourself a little more forward these days. You're putting yourself first these days. You need to. For whatever this is, you're doing a great job, and I don't want you to have a break in stride, honey. I want you to keep going with this. It's doing really well for you. All right? Now, the Tower is in your strengths. You took something hard. And I don't know how hard, let's say, it hits you. I don't know. But you took it like a champ. And you've been learning and growing from it ever since. I don't know what that tower was. Feel free to share or don't. You don't have to. You would know what it is. But no matter how big or small that tower, no matter how shocking or mundane it might have been, what other people may have experienced 20 times over, it might have been a first for you. I don't know. But in terms of the enlightenment that came from it, you took it really well. And you've been learning from it ever since. It's kind of like you put away childish things or whatever it was and said, okay, let's heal from this. Let's learn from it. How does this relate to me? How do I relate to it? Is there truth in this? And if that is my truth, how does that affect me, my growth, my sense of self? I mean, you took it very seriously. Okay. So you took on a rather sizable tower. You absorbed it. You're making it your own by breaking down the lessons and discovering yourself in the process. So you did good. Six of Swords is in your environment. You might have taken a leave of absence from whatever your environment is. Could be temporary. Don't get me wrong. You could be at home. Point is, you may not be participating so much these days with family and friends and the busyness of the life, you know. It could be you went on a little trip. Or it could be that you are gently, and I mean gently, leaving behind a known environment to participate in another. I don't know, but it's part of your process, so I'm going to go ahead and congratulate you on it. Six of Swords, guys, isn't just about the shores we're leaving behind. It's the shores we have to look forward to in the future. And it's supposed to be a gentle process. It's not going to be a happy one like the sun. But it can be, well, you know what? I know where I've been, and now I know what I have to look forward to. And hopefully it's a little calmer, a little more reflective, a little more insightful, a little more healing for me. So that Six of Swords in the environment, that could be a journey that is both temporary or short. It's up to you. I don't know. But it's looking like you need to take a break from what you've known to continue on in your healing journey. I don't know if you've permanently left a shore behind, but even if you did, it's still good for you. Okay? Two of Cups and your hopes and fears. Do I still love this the same? Does it still love me the same? You won't know more until time has passed, whatever that love is to you. Okay. We still wonder about hope for. Does it still feel the same? Do they still feel the same? Hopes and fears is a guarantee of nothing. It's simply a reflection of who we are as human beings. It's the mirror effect. It's one and the same. You hope for a cup to still feel the same. You're also afraid it will. It's okay. You'll know more as time passes. Page of Swords is in the outcome. There's an admission here. I don't know everything yet. You're not the first person to show me that. It's okay. And we don't. You're actually doing quite a bit as it is. So don't worry about it. The outcome card, for me personally, as someone who's been doing this for a long time, I can tell you it's the least interesting because it's the most likely to change. especially if a page is sitting there. 1,000%, because the page is sitting there. Think of it as a temporary placeholder for energy that doesn't quite know where it's going or what it's doing yet. It hasn't settled or things haven't been determined upon. So am I surprised? Not at all. Is it the most irritating for people to look at visually? Yeah. Because it's not a guarantee. Well, you don't need a guarantee. Look at all the work you're doing. And it's frankly an admission on your part that I don't know everything yet. So let's just see how things go for you personally. All right? I completely agree. Look at all this fantastic work you're doing. That Six of Swords, I do feel like we're temporarily leaving something behind until we can get back to it and better understand it in our environment. And should it be there? That's my 2 cents. All right. Let's get the advice, please. Let's get the advice, please, for Gemini. Let's get that advice, please, for Gemini. Come on now. What is it? Yes. Determination of mind. Focus. Absolutely. Four of Pentacles, strength, the Tower. There's that Tower again. You got confrontational, at least mentally. Man, there's something here you thought you would never let go of. Turns out we were wrong about that. Perhaps you thought it would never let go of you. It's running one of those ways. Something here that shows up in the 3D that we always assumed would be strong. We would always pull it towards us, or we would always pull ourselves towards it. Perhaps a little bit of both. That particular illusion, lightning struck and the tower broke. No. Turns out, whatever this is wouldn't indeed always hold on to us, or we indeed would not always hold on to it. I don't know what it is. It's just something we assumed could never be let go of, or we could never be let go of. We took that on like a champ. I'm not saying it was easy. I'm not saying that you were doing cartwheels. What I'm saying is that we had to absorb the opposite of that truth. The Knight of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Six of Swords. There it is again. Something that we've always constructed. Seven of Pentacles and Three of Pentacles. This is something we've done 1,000 times. Right there. That's what 1,000 times looks like. It's no big deal. And it's not active Eight of Pentacles. It doesn't command our full attention all day, every day. It's just something that we've had in play so many times. We just always assumed it would be there. And it took the participation of someone else to grow this. And you're saying, I'm choosing not to participate in this right now. It's in your environment. So it could be work, it could be many things, but it's something we always assumed we could never let go of, or would never let go of us. And it turns out, even if temporary, you're taking leave of it. And this is a practiced habit, construction effort, a practiced garden that's been grown with someone else. So slow. So very, very slow. And we're just kind of drifting away from it. And they thought we never could do that. Oh, yeah. Interesting. I feel like there might have been two revelations there. Someone said, actually, I can do without this. The other person said, maybe I can too. Yeah, there it is right there at the outcome page of Swords. Get more information. Okay. We don't know everything there is to know, and you're in the process of learning and discovery right now. So try not to be hard on yourselves yet. Looking for signs, you're looking for the appropriate information. I'll just mean looking for signs as in number sequences. That's not going to take you very far. I mean, look for signs, in other words, more to do with that lightning strike moment. What else is there to be learned from it? there's still more in there to extract. Yeah. Oh, so many. Okay. We have one letter, U. We have the medallion of Virgo and Leo and Capricorn all in the upright. You might have any of those features, particularly strong ones in your chart, in which case check theirs out. Or could be connecting to one as well. We have the stingray, sign of Scorpio, but also gently gliding along the bottom, being in tune with our feelings, but not being overt with them either. Okay? Keeping ourselves to ourselves. We have the arrow of Sag, also the point striking home, feeling like we have been struck in the general sense for either love or in war. We have the bull here, sign of Taurus, and then we also have the dragonfly in reverse. Currently, the situation has not transformed, nor should it, because it's looking like you as an individual are trying to take on a lot of responsibility for where you are now. Okay, so again, we still don't know everything there is to know yet. Trust me, transformation is going to take effect. We're just not in that space of saying how yet. But the hard part seems to be over. All right, Gemini, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Libra, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on for Libra, please? Show me, Libra. Show me, Libra. What's going on for Libra? The Magician, crossing, the Knight of Wands. I suppose it depends on what you want to do with it. Nine of Pentacles, crowning. Five of Wands is in the past. Exiting, King of Wands. Oh, we don't trust our fire so much these days. Okay. Before you, the Ten of Cups, harmony. Knight of Pentacles is in your strengths. Yeah, Page of Pentacles is in your environment. Okay. Hopes and fears, Six of Cups. Outcome, Eight of Pentacles. You're working. You're showing me a little bit of everything today, which is one of my favorite reading types. It's not concentrated on love or work. It's somewhere in between the two, which again is my favorite. I just like it when people say it's a little this, it's a little that. It gives me more to work with too. So the Magician straight away, forefront. It's like I'm manifesting, kind of. The Knight of Wands is crossing. You're like, I want to manifest something so bad, Christina, but I don't know if I should put energy into it. Well, I mean, again, it's like it depends on what you're going to do with it. Are you a good witch or a bad witch? I mean, all the cards actually have pros and cons. Even the most commonly associated negative ones have pros. Just like all energies, it depends on what we do with it. Nature being what it is, not just human nature, black, white, it's both. Okay? There's a good version of the Five of Wands, just like there's a negative version of the Nine of Pentacles. It just depends on what we do with it. There's choice in all things. So what are you going to do with your manifestation, honey? Because it's kind of like, I want to be like, what does Chapel Roan say? Hot to go? I'm enjoying Chapel Roan. I really am. If you haven't seen her yet, just check her out. She's an interesting artist. It was just, one day she wasn't there and the next day she's everywhere. So there you go. That's underground artists when they take off like that. Anyway, are you hot to go or not? Because like I want to manifest something so bad, but I don't know if I have the energy for it. I don't know if I have the passion. I don't have the drive. I don't know if I have the hope for it, because it's all fire. Fire is all those things: hope, passion, drive, ambition. Like, I don't know, yeah, but you want to. Parts of you are kind of like, it's getting really hard to sit on this energy. So you're going to have to figure out, honey, your manifestation and what you want from it. And once you really know what you want from it, that's going to tell you, or rather dictate, if you have the energy for it. So if you really don't have the energy for it, then you might want to shift your manifestation into something that's slower or easier, or something that's immediately within your grasp that you know that you can give energy to. Because there's something here you question the energy. You yourself personally, you don't question, which is cool. Nine of Pentacles is crowning you. You're like, you can get things done. You can act as an independent, forthright Libra. I can plant my 2 feet on the ground and get things done. Me personally. You're like, me personally, I have a track history with that. You're like, I'm actually quite proud of my accomplishments. I know I can do something if I set my mind to it. So it's really not about your experience here. That's not what you're questioning, honey. You don't question your experience. You question your energy. Do I have the energy for this, even though I quote unquote want it? So if that's true, if you have to question your energy towards a manifestation, it's best not to engage with it until you absolutely know that you have the energetic space for it, not just the physical experience. You know what I'm saying? Now, the Five of Wands is in your past. Whatever it is that you want to manifest, you're saying it could cause tension. And that's where the energy question comes into play, doesn't it? This is why you don't know if you have the energy to manifest something, because based on previous experience, you'd have to fight for it. So here's the thing about the past orientation. That doesn't mean it's over. That just means that you collectively can remember that experience, that feeling, that thought, that belief, or that action. And it can either affect you in present day, or bare minimum, you can learn from it. You're showing me a learning principle of the last time I tried to manifest something like this, I was met with nothing but opposition, backlash, and bullshit. I don't know if I got the energy for that. I came out the other side, and I'm more experienced for it. I don't know if I got the energy, though, for whatever this is. King of Wands is on the exit. Again, more proof that your kind of fiery, passionate sense of drive is, I don't know that it's over for you, but it's been taking kind of a bow lately. I don't always want to have to turn my fire all the way on in order to accomplish a goal. Can't my experience just speak for me? Do I always have to approach everything from a place of heat or passion or drive or ambition in order to get something done? So here we have that conflict, guys, between I really want something, but it's going to take a lot of energy for me to do it. Can't I just use experience or my my own skills and abilities? Do I always have to throw myself into everything in order to get everything done? So that's what I'm saying, guys, you got to weigh up that manifestation. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? You know? Because once you realize how much energy it's going to start costing you, you've got to figure out if you're going to get enough back to sustain the cost or justify the cost of the energy. It's not the experience, baby. It's not the experience. Okay? It's not the miles, really. It's the where, is what you're saying. I don't know if I have enough energy to justify more where. I got the miles. I could do it if I want to. I know I could. Oh, my God. I have to fight for it, though. Ugh. So again, what do you want? What do you want? I don't see you immediately addressing that. I really don't. I don't see you immediately answering that question. I think you're going to put that on the back burner. I do. No pun intended. Because what you want is in direct conflict with your energetic contribution. So it is literally, literally, but metaphorically in that sense of it's on the back burner. It's on the lowest setting until you know that you can afford a higher setting on your energy. Okay? Ten of Cups is before you in the future. Yeah, you're going to enter a space pretty soon of harmony, which is lovely. And that Ten of Cups, guys, there's no one strict rule about what this is. You see there's multiple figures in here, and the harmony principle represents many cups. So whatever it is that harmonizes you in terms of your personal emotional experience, the people who you find in this life that support you in the good, healthy way. So this is family, this is friends. It could be one person of significance. It could be multiple people. The point is that we enter a time of peace. Okay, emotional peace, emotional prosperity. When we take a look around, more often than not, the folks that surround us, and that includes you too, feel happy with each other, knowing that you're there for each other. Even if you're busy, killing it 50, 60 hours a week, still knowing that you're at peace with others that are important in your life, that's a good feeling. Which also goes back to this point. If you manifested something that required more of your upfront, ambitious energy, you're saying it could cause a stink. And right now, everybody's getting along so well. Right? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I know. Let's keep going. Knight of Pentacles is in your strengths. You're like, where I am these days, Christina. Okay. Is that a slower pace? I like to take my time these days. I don't like being rushed so much, and that's a planned pentacle. It's already in motion. In other words, you're saying, I'm a Libra that knows my lane. Thank you. I know my strengths. I'm not trying to be in the fast lane anymore. And if I am, I got to know that it's worth it. What's the point of being in the fast lane when really I don't want to go above 70? I live in Texas, so what the fast lane is here is is different for other people. Sometimes it's very, very generous, and other times it's like not. It just depends on what city you're in Texas, because it's Texas. With the Knight of Pentacles, you're like, I've been in a nice vehicle in my lane. I kind of like it. It allows me to see things far off. That's the blueprint. That's the planner. That is the Knight of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is in your environment. It's kind of like you're saying, if I want to make investments, it's at my choice. I don't have to. If I want to do something new, I can. I can add or subtract as I see fit. Page of Pentacles is the most realistic of all the pages, but that doesn't mean it's mind-blowing concepts either. Your environment, again, you're saying, I kind of like where things are. If I want to add or subtract a pentacle here or there, change things up in my 3D, I can. It's at my disposal. You're literally saying it's no big deal. Yeah. So then what's provoking this question of you having to spend so much energy at all? You like where things are. You're at a good space. You're at a good pace. Everybody seems to be getting along. And if you manifest something here that requires more energy, it could throw off the balance. And, you know, I kind of like this lane I'm in. So, okay, then what's the question, honey? What's this question of manifestation then at all? Why do you struggle with it? Look at your hopes and fears. There's the soul bond and there's 6 of Cups. Now, that doesn't mean it has to be romantic, guys. I have to qualify that all the time. 6 of Cups does not have to be romantic, but we do know this person from the past, bare minimum. Even if you don't identify them as a romantic person or a person who is a soul bond, you've known them forever and a day. A long time. 6 of Cups. Sweet memories, nostalgia of the past. We hope to get along with this person, but they would require energy, right? And it seems that the energy that soul bond or whatever that connection is to you would require would currently disrupt the smooth lane you're in. You know? Would you like to manifest a connection here that seems to be important to you? You're attached to it, emotionally and spiritually, bare minimum. Physically, no. That's where the energy exertion would come in, wouldn't it? To try to reattach to them in the 3D would require a lot of upfront energy, and you're like, that's just not where I'm at. I'm kind of in cozy lane over here, and this, while it's important to me, I have to know that it's important enough to give it the energy it would clearly need, and apparently it would need a lot. It would need ambition. It would need passion. It would need hope. It would need something. A lot from you, and you're like, that's just not where I'm at these days. So you would fear to connect to it again in that respect. It's kind of like, I don't know if it has the point or the value. That's only something you can figure out. It seems like time isn't on your side, which is cool. But you also seem to have a balance that's currently in your favor, and you don't want to disrupt it. The 8 of Pentacles is in your outcome, and then you're like, back to work. So you're like, I get that you want to bring whatever this is back into your 3D world, but energetically you don't seem to have it. You don't have the chutzpah, you don't have the oomph, you don't have the power drive to back it up. It's kind of like a faded magician. There's this idea you could manifest it, you kind of want it, but no disrespect here, and I literally mean there's no disrespect, it's just you don't have the drive for it. Okay. You're like, this is what I know and I'm good. This is what I feel and it's good. And is it a bad thing I've lost energy to try to reconnect with this? No. It just depends on what your priorities are. If you showed me that you prioritize this connection more and you still weren't doing it, then I'd be questioning you. But you're not prioritizing it. I don't think that makes you a good or bad Libra. It's just you don't have in you to prioritize that 6 of Cups right now. That's all. That might be different in a month from now. It's not going to always be that way, I don't think. And perhaps you have no need to right now. You know? Maybe this is something that can wait a little more. I'm not saying put it off or disregard them. I'm saying it's just not where you are. I don't know if you're in the mood, but you're not in the position to energetically spare anything towards it. So your manifestation says, I admit I want something from it, but not enough to bring it together. And if that's true, then that's your truth. Don't be a hypocrite. Don't try to force yourself to do something you just don't have the time for or the energy for. Because then you'll end up separating from it again. See what I'm saying? There you go. You might have more energy to spare in a month from now. I haven't a clue. Okay? 5 of Pentacles, Temperance, the Queen of Pentacles. You're saying that you really, again, there's just, you really want to focus on where you're at now. And you're saying you have breaks in you too. Five of Pentacles, Temperance, and the Queen of Pentacles. And you're saying I have faults too. I need to work on me too. I need to know my worth too. And I need to get back in touch with me too. And until perhaps I'm in a better position of healing myself, perhaps I shouldn't try to connect with this. I think you're right. I think you're onto something there. Because so far, you kind of sticking to your lane has given you a place of peace. You're at a speed that you seem to be comfortable with. You're getting things done. You're able to invest in your environment at your leisure with no pressure. You know, you're saying, I'm not a perfect being. I have things to heal in me first before maybe I try to summon this forward, huh? I agree. You know, there you go. There you go. And you're like, I need to know that I'm ready. And if that's what I want to do to fight for this, and it could be fight energy too, honey, that's all that fire. If I want to fight for this connection, I have to know that I'm ready. The Ten of Wands, the heaviness, the burden. Oh, goodness, we are stuffy. Ten of Wands, Two of Wands, Four of Wands. There's the relationship here. There's some sort of relationship here that you say is super heavy. It's heavy, and it's enough that it's your reality right now. Okay? Ten of Wands, Two of Wands, Four of Wands. That's immediate upfront. This is happening now energy. And you're saying right now, it's enough that I'm carrying a relationship that you say is difficult on a day-to-day sometimes. You're saying there's a lot of responsibility in that. And that it's enough for you to make decisions in that right now and to be present with it. Never mind whatever that soul bond is. Okay? All right, that's true. You seem to have priorities that command your upfront energy, so it might explain why you don't have much to spare, whatever the heck this is anyway. You see what I'm saying? Because that's also active and upfront. You're saying this would require your manifestation over here. It would require energy that you just don't have. I can see why. You still have work that you need to do to take care of yourself. And it's looking like it's also currently commanded elsewhere anyway. Okay? So let's keep that in mind. Yeah, for some of you, there is a sense of perfect timing. And if you have to struggle that much with your manifestation, then now's not the time. Okay? Now's not the time. There might be, in this instance, a case of perfect timing at play. Let's push one more card. Wait and take action. Know the difference between waiting and taking action. Absolutely. That's an excellent point, because I never, ever advocate waiting on anything or anybody. No. Wait to know what you're doing. Wait to make up your mind. Wait until you know yourself. Absolutely. But there is an idea of perfect timing between waiting and knowing when to take action. Perfect timing exists. I couldn't have put that better myself. Absolutely. And knowing which is which. Knowing when you're waiting unnecessarily and knowing when you're taking the right action at the right time. And then there's the perfect timing. Okay. The letter N, the letter K, we have the great white shark, sign of Scorpio, and the need to pursue, pursue, pursue. I see you pursuing. Okay, I do see you pursuing, but it's things that you already have in play that kind of command your upfront self. And then we have the medallion of Aquarius in the reverse, the key word here being friendly. Okay, Libra, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Taurus, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on, please? Show me, Taurus. What's going on? Show me, Taurus, please. Nice and quiet today. Yay. What's going on? You, King of Pentacles. Nice. Crossing the Chariot. Let's see. Okay, well, that might be why. Five of Wands crowning, past experience, Five of Pentacles. Exiting the Page of Wands. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like you're losing your momentum for something, and I don't blame you. Yeah, before in the future, Three of Swords. My. Okay, let's keep going. We'll get back to all that. Strength is death. Oh, my goodness. Taurus, honey. Nine of Pentacles is in your environment. Good. Good. You're still you at the end of the day. Let's keep that in mind. Yes. Hopes and fears. King of Swords. Outcome is Five of Cups. Yeah, there's a lot of loss here. A lot of impeded progress. A lot. I was trying to do my best. Apparently that's not good enough. And I'm not saying that you're showing me woe is me. I'm saying you got a particular feeling surrounding you, and I don't blame you. And at the heart of this, you know, honey, it kind of breaks my heart a little bit. You're still you. So that's your natural state of grace energy, head of household, responsible, resourceful, reliable. And you're like, I wouldn't know it. Not these days. It's like I have not been allowed to move forward. The Chariot is in your challenge position. I know that you really want to break from this and just move on, move forward. That does not seem to be the Taurus I'm looking at. That doesn't seem to be your situation or circumstance where you can just get on with things. No. And a big part of you, the responsible part of you, knows this. You can't just break away from it, move on, or go your own way. You're like, I'm in it whether I like it or not. So would you like to see advancements in the situation overall? Yeah. Is that happening? Taurus like, no. Yeah, I see you shaking your head, honey. And this one's very specific. It's either yours or it's not at this point. Okay, pretty straightforward. The Five of Wands is crowning you. Man, the pushback is real. Like, seriously? There's arguing, there's fighting, there's backbiting, battle of wills, agendas, power plays. I'm going to get in your face. You know, I got to make a point. I'm making a stand. And you're participating to some extent. And when you do participate, it's because I know with that Chariot in the proposition of moving forward, you would like to. You would like to get past this. And it's not happening. It's not happening. There's an argument here that's at crowning or peak, as we might say, and I'm so sorry. I don't know what this is, but it is coming up in terms of 3D. There's splitting, there's splittering, I should say. And Five of Pentacles is in your past experience. You're familiar with this. You know what's up. You've been through this before. Okay. You know, and the thing is with the past, guys, it's not that it's done. That just means we've had experience with it. So the thought, the behavior, the feeling, the action. Like, I've been through this before. And the idea is that it can play out in present day, or bare minimum, even if it's not playing out in present day, we can learn from it. So I know you have past experiences with breakage and abandonment issues, feeling excluded, left out, or having to cut off activity from a situation, place, circumstance, or person. Regardless, I know you know what it's like. You're familiar with the subject. And you think about this. You think about those past experiences where the Five of Pentacles was experienced or justified. Either you experienced it on the receiving end of it, or you had to push towards that. Regardless, you know what it's like. And you're like, I've been down this road. All right, and the constant arguing is taking a toll, and it's provoking in you the memories of you had to break from in the past or had to break from you. You're like, this feels familiar. I know this song. And it's with you day and night. You would love to make progress in this. Some sort of progress, any sort of progress. Page of Wands is on the exit. Again, I don't blame you. I wouldn't be too curious about stuff right now either. There's not much room for curiosity. There's not much room for you to be open to other things or access other roads. That's just not where you are. You're knee deep in whatever this is, and I'm sorry you're receiving so much kickback on it. The thing is, guys, it takes two. I don't know what this is to you. This could be a family thing. This could be a work thing. It could be a partner thing. I don't know. It's really up to you. It looks like you have no other room to look elsewhere right now. That's going to change. Okay. There's no other way through this except to go through it, kind of thing. So let's not feel too bad about that Page of Wands. Little guy, you can afford to be curious about other things later. But in terms of any new insights or new feeling for the situation, no. You're going to have to get through it by getting through it. Three of Swords is before you in future. I know, it's like just when I think it couldn't get any worse. I know. Yeah, that's pain, honey. It's unresolved pain. It hurts. It hurts that you're caught up in this, and it hurts that you can't get on the other side of it, or it feels like you're being impeded from making progress in it. Other way, it sucks, and it's going to harken back to that feeling of rejection. Am I trying to make progress in this, improve it, or work through it? It's all being rejected. This is where it is, and it sucks. I'm still having to power through it. I know. This is in your strengths. You're willing to end this if you need to. You know, the second you showed me that Five of Pentacles in your past, it kind of spoke volumes. Like, I've been down this road before. It's interesting to me. It's almost like you're saying, I have to see this through the end, and that's why you can see no other roads of accessibility around this situation. It really does seem to be determined to be on a one-way street. But perhaps if we think of that one-way street as a cul-de-sac that we inevitably have to turn around in, that means we do eventually have an exit. We'll just go back out the way we came in. Okay. But first, you got to do that humiliating thing. Shit, that was that dead end. Is it dead? And I knew that. Circle around, because bye. Yeah, no, it was an accident. I came down the street on accident. Okay. We got to do that. Yeah. It happens. So I know it seems inevitable, but the fact that you showed me death and your strengths and your Five of Pentacles in your past, you're saying you're a Taurus who is familiar with the subject of having to do what it is you need to do. That doesn't mean you're happy about it. You're not over the moon about it. You're not thrilled about it. You're not throwing a parade over this. But I see your spirit right here. It's a little spirit, but it's there. And on this point, I'm going to agree with you. Even if it sounds a bit cheeky, I don't give a... I do what I do, darling. I've lived too much life. I have zero fucks to give on this subject. You know, I just... Nine of Pentacles in your environment. I would rather be alone than be in this. You know? I've lived life too. I would rather be alone than be in this. Because it's not just me going down this dead end. Apparently you're there with me. So maybe if I go my way and you go your way, we'll stop going down this one-way street. You can find another street to get lost on, turn around on, or one-way on. Find something that actually leads you somewhere. But I think I'll do better on my own. Now, I don't know what the situation is. I honestly don't. But I completely agree with your assessment right here. If need be, I'm prepared to end things because I've done it before or I've been through it before. And I'd rather be on my own because you have, guess what, experience with that as well. As an independent, I can stand on my own 2 feet, autonomous person. This is also experience. I can still be me. I'm still responsible for me at the end of the day. And sometimes one must do what one must do. Okay, so death is in your strengths, and that's a very specific thing, extremely specific thing. It's probably one of the hardest, but one of the best skills you could have. Okay. Who said it? Was it Robin Williams? It was somebody. You know, it's better to be alone than feel lonely with somebody. That applies to work. That applies to something in the family dynamic, you name it. Okay. All right. The King of Swords in your hopes and fears is simply a reflection of who we are, what we're thinking, what we're feeling. It's a guarantee of nothing. It's the mirror effect of what it is to be alive. So you hope dearly that you're making the correct decision. You also fear that decision simultaneously. So there is that sense of the Taurus I'm looking at. You feel the responsibilities on you. Am I making the correct decision? I'm hopeful that I am, but I'm fearful that I haven't. I know. But that tells me you're taking it seriously, right? Better that than a page, yeah? Five of Cups is in the outcome. Yeah, it's going to hurt. But then so, too, has everything that led up to it, up until that point. Okay? Oh, my goodness, Taurus, honey. Let's get some advice for you, please. Let's get some advice. I have some folks here that are clearly suffering from Taurus envy. You've had couple of awesome readings. I'm like, yeah. Let's be happy for those. It's not always going to be the same tune, guys, week after week. Because when it hits, it hits. You know? Tower, sure, why not? 6 of Wands. Yeah, the Queen of Wands. Okay. Well, somebody's ego and or pride got taken down several notches. What should be positive fire has largely been playing out as negative. A sense of my will, but it's an assumed sense of my will, my way. It's not like the emperor who's being stubborn. It's a pride associated with this person's sense of willpower, and it's largely a false or negative construct with the Tower. So whoever has that false pride, I usually get what I want. You know. Not this time. Not this rodeo. Not this round. Someone's sense of passion. Things end up my way anyway. You're going to see things, I'm right, I'm usually right. A false sense of ego, pride, or frankly just forced willpower, done so out of passion and pride and ego. It's false construct. That's going to come crashing down for somebody. Just assume positive results type of person. Well, things work out for me anyway, or I always get what I want. So even if it's not about looks here, it's definitely the ego behind it. Yeah. Anything else in here, please? 2 of Wands, the Knights of Cups, and the 8 of Pentacles. You know, you can't help but wonder. Eight of Pentacles, the Knights of Cups, the 2 of Wands. If what you've been working on in terms of your feeling, if it isn't better suited in a different direction. You know? More about authentic feeling and real progress in 8 of Pentacles that we can see and hold ourselves accountable for. The real work that we've done as people. The love we put into it that speaks volumes for who we are and what we can do. I know you're a Taurus who has more often than not a can-do attitude as opposed to an assumed will of correctness and power. You're more likely to trust the results of the things you've actually put yourself into. And not just someone who can throw their weight around. You know, this is what you trust and put faith in. Yeah? In other words, trust you. Trust yourself. Goodness gracious. I know when I had those first 3 cards down, I went, I went, Oh, no. Someone who's very used to the knowledge of, well, I typically get what I want. So all I have to do is throw a little bit of a hissy fit, be a little pissed off, be a little edgy, be a little angry, and things go my way. Well, they put a great deal of faith in store. And that sense of attraction, maybe, I'm not sure, in the near future for some of you. This is yet to fully unfold for some of you, as we see. There's quite a pathway here of drudgery and fuckery that needs to be disentangled in the near future. Choose a new direction. Big old happy changes for some of you. Once we choose a new direction. Okay. And you seem to be in this position to do so. I see it reflected in your hopes and fears about whether or not you're doing the right thing. Oh, I think we can put that one to rest. We have the letters J, K, the grapes. Someone enjoys their food, they enjoy their wine, they enjoy their indulgences. Perhaps somebody here just enjoys their grapes. We have the medallion of Leo in reverse and upside down. lack of generosity, specifically lack of goodwill, lack of good faith, lack of good passion, lack of good initiative. In other words, all the characteristics and traits of Leo upside down. Okay. We also have the dragon upside down. Again, forced sense of will, empowerment. Someone's drunk off their head on empowerment or their own sense of correctness. Or if I just throw enough attitude or anger, I get what I want. And, you know, it's the arrogance is kind of high on this one. Whereas you tend to trust, of course you do. What is you put yourself into based on the good feeling of that. So you have a healthy feedback loop with yourself. I can tell that you are a source here that wouldn't end things or break away from anything, situation, place, circumstance, work, unless you understood honestly, practically, and feeling-wise that was correct for you. Okay? That's it. Which is good. Put it in the comments. I hope this helped you. Take care. Be well. Virgo, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on? Show me Virgo, please. What's going on for Virgo, please? Now that the days are getting shorter, I enjoy Virgo-style energy, right? I don't have any in my chart. Capricorn, just a touch in the midheaven, that's it. But that's when I enjoy that hermit energy. So you have a lantern on outside at night with your patio. You have a nice little glass of wine, and you just kind of have a hermit and chill mode. We can do that on these cooler nights and shorter days. Oh, I love it. I just get my little lantern, you know, and go outside, have some chill time. All right, Temperance, being crossed with the Magician. Okay, crowning, Knight of Wands. Oh, yeah. Past, the Queen of Swords. Yeah, that actually makes sense. Exiting the Sun. Now that. Okay, I grant you. You're pulling in something you're not used to. Let's keep going. Strengths, Knight of Cups. Good. Environment, Devil. Ha! Okay. We'll get back to that as well. Hopes and fears. I knew it. I freaking knew it. Outcome, justice. You'll figure it out. It may not seem that way, but you're in that position to figure this out. And you're saying, look, I've given this a lot of thought, Christina. All right, Temperance. Okay, so don't give me too much shit. I'm not trying to. You've come a long way in this life. I know you have. Through much time, patience, and compassion for yourself, and the willingness to look at difficult things, specifically memories and feelings. And in that Temperance is born, we have learned a lot about ourselves over time. And that means having lived life and being willing to be exposed to some extent to difficult elements as well as happy elements, you know. And you're saying you've learned a lot about yourself. And you are now kind of like on that next chapter phase, but you don't quite know how to define it. You're saying, after much due course and consideration about who I am and everything I've gone through, should I manifest? Because you have something in mind, energetically, but you don't know if you can commit to it. So I agree, by all means, don't rush your manifestation, especially if you feel like you're in a period in your life where you might move on to the next chapter, you know? And you're saying, I do have an idea of what I would manifest. The only thing is that I don't have much reference for it. It's different. Yeah. So, like, I've come a long way. And I do have this inclination that I should manifest, but it's so different, man. It's so wild from what I'm used to. It's like, do I dare? But it's all on the inside. I bet on the outside, you're just that kind of Virgo. It's like, everything's fine on the outside, right? Nice and calm. And what's crowning you is the Knight of Wands. You're legitimately excited by the prospect of manifesting something different. Oh, man, you've got energy for it. You got passion. You got oomph, vivaciousness. It crowns you. So it's in your chakra. It might even be down to your root, honey. Queen of Swords is in your past. Typically, based on your past decision and past mindset, you're like, I've always known me, right? I know who I am. I know how I think. I make logical, rational decisions. I can back them up. So the past does not mean it's over. It just means it's energy, information, behaviors, or emotions that you are familiar with. That means they can affect you to this day, present, and therefore the future. Or even if you no longer do those, you can reflect on them and therefore learn from them. So I'm thinking this is something you've always identified with as the Queen of Swords. Always. And that's a very strong platform for the Virgo I'm looking at. So what you're proposing for yourself then in terms of manifestation, you're saying is so different. It feels different. It looks different. And it's not what I'm used to. Yeah, I mean, what's the point of manifesting the same old thing, eh? Especially if you feel like you could make for new room in your life for something that is indeed new. Now, the Sun is exiting. At first, like, and then I saw the Page of Swords before you in future. Okay. Oh, it's pickup day. You have to excuse the big diesel trucks. It is what it is. So the Sun is in the past position. What you always understood to make you happy is changing. But you're still having a hard time articulating Page of Swords about what your new form of happiness is, how you newly identify, right? Again, that question of, I feel like I should be manifesting, but it's different, and I don't know what that means. What does that mean about me? And why does it feel weird? Why does it feel exciting? Why does it feel scary? Because you're saying the stuff that used to make me happy, well, that's on its way out. I don't identify with that anymore. So what do I replace it with, Christina? What are you feeling, Virgo? I'm going to bounce it right back on you. What are you feeling? Because that's probably what's correct. You've always used logic and reasoning to tell you what I understand makes me happy is correct, and this is how we live it. You yourself admitted straight away that you've changed a lot over the years, and that you're feeling new things, and they're exciting, and they're scary. It's new to you. And so while you admit the old Sun doesn't fit you anymore, cool. What used to make me happy don't make me happy. Ever had that thought before? Now extrapolate that over years of recognition, insight, and understanding, and consolidating ourselves to this truth with this hefty feeling of weight or responsibility to pull in something new then, so we can redefine what makes us happy. But we still don't know. And that's going to piss off the old version of you that always says, we're supposed to know. Do you see the kind of quandary you're in right now? And that's for the Virgo I'm looking at. You might be Virgo Sun, but this may not be your reading, understand? So just FYI. And it's a quandary, by the way, that you can't solve. It's the answer's in here. I know it is because the answer's in you. You already started working on it. You just haven't seen the outcome or the results yet. The Knight of Cups is in your strengths. You have a certain feeling, and it's soft, and it sways, just like the Knight of Wands, which is a little bit louder, energetically speaking. The Knight of Cups is a little bit softer, but they both speak to emotional experience. I need to go over here. I need to express myself this way. I need to feel this. What am I seeking? What am I seeking? These knights, they're seeking. They're seeking their object. They're seeking their person. They're seeking a situation, an experience, something that says, this is where I should be. I'm searching it. I'm searching for it. I'm searching for it. And that's what the knights are doing. They're searching. They're searching. Your sense of vitality, energy, goodwill, hope, and passion, enthusiasm, and your sense of love, expression, and vulnerability are both searching. So again, that explains that partial manifestation. Now, the Devil is in your environment. Something there does not suit you. In your environment is a large category. But I do know that that Devil is prevalent enough that it's showing up in your 3D world. Something that you are still attached to, and perhaps we should not be. Okay? Something that makes you feel dependent, false, or I should say codependent and false. Something that makes you feel weak instead of strong. Something that says it keeps you small and underdeveloped as opposed to self-honoring and autonomous. Okay? That's a rather sizable concept and a sizable category. It would have you do the opposite of exploring. It would have you do the opposite of being open to new. It changes you instead of frees you. A healthy environment makes you feel free, not critically bound to it out of fear. Okay? Ace of Cups is in your hopes and fears. To hope for new love or to despair of it. I suppose if you've ever watched The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, the rose would show up in the hopes and fears. Oh, I hope to get that rose, or I'm afraid to get it. I want to be chosen. I'm afraid to be chosen. You hope for new love. You fear it too. Your Knight of Cups is under your strengths. I think you want new love, perhaps more than you know. Those Knights are searching because they're restless. And whatever's in your environment does not nurture or foster these things. Otherwise, you would not feel like you were in want or lack. Just pointing out the obvious. And by the way, I don't know what that is. All I know is it's large enough that it prohibits you. Justice in the outcome, sense of balance in the end. Correctness. Karmically, spiritually, everything else, technical, legal too. It's all in there. There will be correctness in the end. Hopes and fears, by the way, guarantees nothing. It's simply a reflection of who we are as people on the inside. Okay? Your strengths, like I said, suggest that you're more ready to head in that direction of new love than perhaps you understand or giving yourself the ability to realize, especially as your definition of the sun, happiness is changing. We can no longer rely on what we used to know because that's the Virgo we used to be. Okay. It's not the Virgo who's trying to represent and come forward today. And whatever this is could simply represent how Virgo used to be. And perhaps we're still clinging to it out of habit, fear of the unknown, so we stick with the known. But in the end, there will be justice. Correctness. Ultimately, I suppose, Virgo honey, you will do what's right for you. You just have to know that it's right for you. The High Priestess, Ace of Wands, the Moon. Yeah, that's what I said. You're more ready than you know. The High Priestess, Ace of Wands, and the Moon. It's intuitively a new beginning. You've been feeling it for a long time, but it's being smothered by the Moon. Like I said, the old Virgo would know what old Virgo would do. New Virgo hasn't had a chance to express themselves yet. To really... Did I just hear the intro for Star Trek? To seek out, just to bravely or boldly seek out new. I just heard the intro to Star Trek. To boldly go where nobody has gone before. I just you can't ask old Virgo to participate in what new Virgo would search for, because what you always used to do, even you said, no longer works for you. You've been feeling this for a long time. But you've been trying to smother it out. Well, it's not convenient, is it? It's not going to start to feel good until you allow it to feel good. Okay? If you see new beginnings, despite however deeply you might feel for it or yearn for it as a pain in the ass, more trouble than it's worth, or too problematic, that could be your devil. That which holds you back. Perhaps you weren't ready, but I believe you're trying to get ready, to be ready for that trip, to do that new beginning, big happy changes. And within the next few weeks. So big happy changes. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, you got the potential for it, honey. Within the next few weeks, you will receive some sort of insight or confirmation that what I am saying here is correct. You might see it more for yourself clearly. I can only tell you so much, really. I just know that in the end, there's correctness, which is good. We have the letter E. We have the infinity loop. Yeah, that sense of soul bond, but the forever loop. And the infinity loop should ideally be healthy, one where the energy feeds back on itself, therefore gives, receives, gives, receives. A circle is a problem. The infinity loop should be healthy. Okay. What we stretch into, compatibility, love, I know. See, big heart too. Big heart, I know. What we hope for, we fear for simultaneously. And we have the zombie in reverse, that sense of coming out of stagnation and nothing changing. Yeah, I think you want that too. Okay. Virgo, honey, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Capricorn, welcome to your Thursday check-in. Show me Capricorn, please. Show me Capricorn. Show me Capricorn. Three of Swords, crossing is the Four of Cups. Oh, yeah. Nobody wants to feel that. Crowning, Ten of Pentacles. Behind you, past experience, the Emperor exiting, the Four of Pentacles. Okay, that's good. The Sun before in the future. Good. Very good. Strengths, Queen of Wands. That's what I'm talking about. That's the spirit, baby. Knight of Wands, the environment. Good job. Ten of Swords is in the hopes and fears. That was a foreshadow. Outcome, the Eight of Cups. You're going to walk away from this, or at least bare minimum stop giving to it emotionally. Let's start there. That's fine with me. Three of Swords crossed with the Four of Cups. Man, that sucks. I'm so sorry. I don't know what ails you. I don't know what prompted it. I just know that when it hit hard. It also brought to mind, or rather triggered, a long-standing sense of unhappiness that perhaps up until that moment in time you weren't entirely aware of. You might have suspected it. But I know you suspected it, actually, right here. But I don't think you understood how deep it ran for yourself or whatever's in there with you. I honestly don't know, because your responsibilities are so heavily tied to you. It's really hard to tell what's triggering. Excuse me, I'm very tired today, you guys. So the lisp is hitting pretty hard. It's hard to tell exactly what's triggering, your unhappiness. I just know it's like every time you turn around, you're like, I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to do that. And so you really don't even have much time to console yourself. So I'm really sorry about that. It's like, damn, dude, can a Capricorn get some space to breathe? I mean, and this is what happens, man. When you're head of state, I've seen things like this before. I will continue to, so you're not the first person to show me this, but when you're head of state like that, you're emperor, you've got a Ten of Pentacles attached to you, it's like, I don't even have time to feel my own upsetness. And it hurts. It hurts a lot. Like I said, you strongly suspected it. I don't think you understood how deep it ran until recently. So whatever it is that triggered it, be it a person or a situation, circumstance, a family, I don't know. You have so much going on. Ten of Pentacles is crowning you. It's on your mind day and night. Your community, your sense of involvement, family, friends, your sense of responsibility, and it's a good thing. The Ten of Pentacles is a good thing. It's your legacy. It's just your legacy can get really inconvenient when there's always something to do and you have no space. And this is definitely one of those moments in your timeline, honey, where the Capricorn I'm looking at, I wish you had a little more personal space. But you will. You'll get there. Okay? And in fact, your Ten of Pentacles, I don't want you to feel too bad about that, because it's one of the things that makes you who you are. So ultimately, well, it seems like you have no personal space to understand your feelings and your aches and your pains. It does remind you that you serve a larger purpose. You know, you tie it all back to a sense of goal and achievement. And this is more than just beyond me. Others are involved, and I got to stay on top of my too. So it does keep you grounded. It does its job. You keep on keeping on with everything that you've got going on, which is quite a bit. In fact, Let's talk about the Empress in the past position. That doesn't mean it's over for you. That means you have experience with it. So if this was your past and you have a Ten of Pentacles crowning you, let's go ahead and assume then that your Emperor energy rolls over into present day and therefore most likely further out into the future as well. So this is always with you. That sense of empowerment and at the seat of your power and authority and having to command a certain level of energy, weight, attention, decision, ownership, responsibility, accountability. So you feel the weight of it all the time. And it's like, I never have the time I need to relax my heart or to learn my more difficult feelings. So while in many respects I feel stressed for you because you're not able to check out, which is what I would do if I was experiencing something like that, it also at the same time suits you. It gives you a sense of control. It gives you a sense of, like I said, groundedness and stability when you remember at the end of the day what you're responsible for. So speaking of ending of day, just for the Capricorn I'm looking at, when it is indeed your end of the day and you can kind of take your crown off, let your hair down, okay? Give yourself time to breathe and reflect on these difficult feelings, okay? I have that feeling you're that person that's got your Ten of Pentacles down on lock, your foundation. You're very much used to being in command of it, all right? So while you can't just hand it off to others, I know, remember, at the end of the day, it is your end of the day. Those last couple hours take for you to unravel and work through these difficult feelings. Four of Pentacles is on the exit. Now, this is something that is actually on its way out. Something we have to let go of. You held on to it as long as you could. Maybe you tried to make it work or hoping it would work or reveal its greater purpose in your life and why you held on to it. Be it part of your Ten of Pentacles, a functioning item, or a more personal item, I don't know. But if you let it go, it's one less thing to worry about. And if it was meant for you to worry on it, it would still be in there. And you'd be doing something with it, right? You can let it go. It's one less thing cutting into your time. It is one less thing for you to be in charge of or for you to try to control or to make it work. Whatever it is. You don't have to do that, apparently. So whatever that is, while it hurts, it's probably best if it exits. Okay? Before you is the Sun. It's going to feel really good. It's going to feel so good when you realize I don't have that extra weight on me anymore. So at first, it presents itself as an unhappy thing. Very unhappy. And if we were being honest with ourselves, that undercurrent was there for a long time. Okay, fine. But once we understand that holding on isn't good enough, or to be held on by something else or someone else isn't good enough, oh my God, the Sun comes out. It's weight we realized we didn't need. Imagine waking up one day and realizing I had no idea I was carrying an extra 50 pounds of unnecessary weight. Wow. I can move so much faster. I feel so much better. There's not so much on my shoulders. That's a good day. And it can continue to be several good days after that, because now the Sun's out. There's an admission here of defeat. Okay, fine. Take that for what it is. But be glad that that 4 didn't hold on any longer than it did, because 1-4 is already bad enough. Never mind 2. 4, when it's in the negative context, guys, you have to remember it's a circle, and that circle can just loop back on itself uselessly. Okay? Yeah, Sun's out. We dropped some unnecessary baggage, something that wasn't functioning in the 3D, or it represents a person. Regardless, we had an idea for a while that it weren't working. Queen of Wands is in your strengths. Yeah, I mean, man, do you know how to pick yourself up off and brush it off the dust and all that? I mean, look at that. Look at that energy revival. Look at you. Ah, I feel so much better. So I know you're used to the commanding weight here of a particular fire. But you've always kind of translated into, look at me. Look at me shine. I have ambition. I have drive. You can't stop me. And it's one of your core strengths. I see that in your environment too. I mean, you literally feel lighter. You went from everything weighs on me, here's an unhappy element, I didn't want to address it, but now that it's leaving, oh my God, I suddenly feel better. And then look at that lightness kick in. Look at that lightness of being, that lightness of fluidity. You look at that. It's much easier to navigate your environment now that you're not carrying around whatever that extra weight was, responsibility, or person. I don't know. I don't know. It's whatever that is to you. Like I said, this is pretty darned extensive. You would know what it is. That Knight of Wands, don't you feel so much lighter in your environment? Faster. You remember your speed. You remember your lightness, your ambition, your drive. Ooh, look at that go. Ten of Swords in your hopes, fears. That's what I'm saying. You had a sneaking suspicion for a while. Something here was going to exit, take its leave, or it had to be let go of. Okay? Any of those things, all those things. What we hope for and what we fear for tend to go hand in hand, which is why the hopes and fears is the category called hopes and fears. It's a mirror reflection of who we are, as in most things in nature. It guarantees nothing. It's not an outcome. It's simply a peek into our inner world about what we hope for and therefore likely fear. You had kind of hoped for this ending. Whatever this is we were holding on to caused us harm. But it was hard to see that. We lost sight of that. I think we was meant to fix it or give it more attention, but we didn't. So it either let go of you or you let go of it. Regardless, you had a sneaking suspicion that that's how it was going to go down. And part of you hoped for it. If you're being honest with yourself. Yeah. Eight of Cups is in the outcome. Emotionally detaching from this as you need to, as you should. If not full on, completely parting ways with it. Accepting it. Emotionally numbing down towards it. No longer giving any fucks towards it. Let's get some advice. Everything's taking its course as I see it. I'm glad to see you're not putting up opposition or a fight. I really respect that. I do. So like I said, part of you was hoping for this. So, oh my goodness, a little blunt there. Ten of Swords with the World. Yeah. You know. Let's get some advice, please. Eight of Wands, Temperance, and the Knights of Cups. Good. You're but not to find a point on it. That's really strong emotional. This is how it must be. And you're communicating that. Eight of Wands, Temperance, the Knight of Cups. You're saying, and there's no bullshit in here. There's no lie. I feel good about this. You do. It feels good. You're not carrying this weight anymore. Whatever it is. It was correct. It was 1,000% correct. You feel it too. And you are using with your speech that sense of correctness. Don't worry about it, guys. I'm fine. It's fine. Trust me. This was the best possible result for this, or this was the best possible outcome, or it was best I let this go. It was going to happen. You see what I'm saying? Do you hear the language? And here we have that behind that, the temperance to back it up. So that means there was acceptance here. You've been wanting to accept this for a while too. Yeah. And also parting ways with this in goodwill, because you really seem to mean it too. Okay, the Magician, the Five of Swords. Okay, so that's where the fault was. And I don't mean like, I mean like the Magician, the Five of Swords. You probably told yourself for goodness knows how long, it's my responsibility to manifest this. It's my responsibility to keep it going. It's my responsibility to hold on to it. This is what I'm supposed to do. I'm the Emperor. I got a Ten of Pentacles. It's my responsibility. It's my jurisdiction. That's a very Capricorn thing to say. It's my jurisdiction, therefore it's my business. Right? And this was how we lied to ourselves. Guys, we can use that Emperor energy any way we want. All cards reflect human nature, black and white. Okay. You can use that Emperor to be stubborn and hold on to a thought, an ideology, a position, an attitude. Or you can use it to take responsibility and accountability for what you're doing and why. You know? So I bet there was a part of you once upon a time that you felt the obligation to summon this forward and keep it in your life, but it was just a form of self-sabotage, and that's why you had the sneaking suspicion for a long time that this isn't going to go well, and it's probably going to exit at some point. And you were right. It wasn't a proper manifestation. You keeping this around or trying to make it work. It's just, I still don't know what that is to you. But you do, and that's all that matters. In the near future, Has yet to fully take shape, but it's shaping up as we speak. Happiness seems right around the corner, honey, once you drop that 50-pound weight. Okay. The situation will improve. Absolutely. Again, near future and within the next few weeks. It's pretty close. That's pretty darn close. Okay. We have the letter R. We have the Empress crown landing on the Emperor. How appropriate was that? Again, that strong sense of empowerment and knowing better and recognizing one's self-worth. And then we have the big dollar bill. For some of you, this is what I'm describing here as highly functionary. Something that's supposed to function but doesn't in your Ten of Pentacles. It can concern itself with the resources or specifically your time, energy, and effort. Anything that's spendable. Big dollar bill. Okay? And then, of course, your Earthian energy. All right, Capricorn, honey, I hope this helped you. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well. Scorpio, welcome to your Thursday check-in. And happy birthday to my early Scorpios. Let me know below if you're one of the October babies. Yeah. What's going on? Show me, Scorpio. And for those who ask, mine is in November 19th. What's going on? Show me, Scorpio, please. Hopefully I was able to get out a round of shorts for the 23rd, which was my intention. 8 of Wands, Temperance crossing. Okay. Queen of Cups is crowning. It's you. What's going on? Past, King of Swords. Exiting, 8 of Cups. Okay. King of Wands before you in the future. Okay. Interesting. Let's see. Strengths, 2 of Wands. Okay. Your environment, the Chariot. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Hopes and fears, 7 of Wands. Outcome, 3 of Cups. Rejoice. I wasn't sure how you were going to take this, and I don't think you did either. Not until you started engaging with it, and that's true for most things. I mean, you can show me, I don't know about this, and how it turns out is how it turns out. It depends on what we put into it, participation levels. You know, does it mean something to you? Do you know what's correct? Yes, no, and all the decisions in between that. So, you know, tarot doesn't dictate action, you do. Tarot's the proof of choice, not the absence of it. And I seem to have caught a Scorpio right smack in the middle of a choice. But it looks like a good choice. It looks like a healthy choice. It's just you're straight away you're opened with, yeah, communication, but should I bother? What's more, I'm not laughing at you or us. That's just my sense of humor and the way things hit me. And I don't know why I give us a little flair when I have the interpretation, but that's just how I am. So Temperance is crossing. It's like, oh, here we go. We have some communication here, which in theory, if mixed well, because Temperance is a mixing process of difficult emotions, we might be able to temperance this thing, okay, with insight, patience, compassion. In other words, the willingness to show healing elements, not to just give it, but to receive it. So I don't know if that's you opening up the line of communication or if you're receiving it, but the fact that your Temperance here is in the challenge zone suggests you don't know, nor have you made up your mind yet about whether or not what you're experiencing in this exchange is healing at all. Is it healing? Is this going to serve a purpose? Will it be constructive conversation? You don't know, and you're not convinced. But the Scorpio I'm looking at today has made a choice to work with it. Okay. The results of that Temperance, or showing whatever it is you're communicating with Temperance, aren't going to be obvious right away. Okay. But that's why you're choosing to participate. It's kind of like you're saying, I'm going to give this a fair shot because I know my heart. The Queen of Cups is crowning you. This is our natural state of grace energy. Okay, some of you are comfortable in your feelings. You're comfortable in your heart space. You know that you're a natural feeler, okay, and that you really don't have a problem expressing that, what it is that you feel, be they the happy, positive, shiny, loving emotions, or the, well, you really want to know how I feel? Okay. And we take ownership of that too. So the King and Queen of Cups, they have to assume, okay, all the feelings in that respect of it's not just the happy ones. These are the real ones too. So you're saying you know who you are in your heart, and you wouldn't have it any other way, and that you're intuitive, and that you'll figure it out as you choose to participate in. I'm not telling you have to. I'm saying the Scorpio I'm looking at is choosing to participate in what looks like a constructive communication, although you admit you don't see where it's going right away, or if it will be constructive, but you want to find out. Okay? King of Swords is in your past. The past does not mean that it's over. That just means it's skills, feelings, actions that you've taken in the past that you're acquainted with and can affect you in present day, or that you can learn from them. So you're saying in the past, you've always been someone who also prizes logic and reasoning, being smart, intelligent, seeing things for what they are. You can be determined when you want. You can be hard-headed when you want. And sometimes you can be cutting when you want. Okay, so you're saying that you know that you can be like this if you want to be. And you're saying that's a choice. As far as this situation is concerned, you're choosing to engage with it from a heart space. Okay, as opposed to logic, reasoning, or cutting. There's something in here that could potentially oppose itself as being a little bit more healing. Okay, so I see you listening with your heart, not just your head. Ace of Cups is in your past position. That's good. Whatever this is, you're not emotionally invested in it that deeply anymore. Okay? You've already done your time walking away from it. It doesn't hit like it used to. You know what it is to kind of exercise an emotional distance between yourself and this particular subject matter. Okay. You're no longer emotionally invested in it like you once were, which suggests to me then that you're able to speak with this in a freer heart space because you know yourself. So whatever the rough subject matter was, it just doesn't hit like it used to. Okay? The hard feelings aren't so hard anymore. Make sense? That's cool. That means you've done a lot of work at the developmental level. King of Wands is before you in future. Yeah, there's a lot of confidence here. You're feeling good about you. You know, you have your drive, you have ambition. You have that sense of passion, and I got to live life the way I feel it, the way I see it, you know. That's very much a trademark for the Scorpio I'm looking at. You know, pride, yeah. But also that sense of I can do because I said I was gonna, you know. I do what I say what I do. I like how you feel. That tells me whatever this is was good enough in nature for you to take the time out to communicate with it and learn from it and heal from it and show it compassion and time. Okay? Again, the results of it just aren't obvious right away. It's all right. You feel good about it and you feel good about you. That's all I care about. Now, the Two of Wands is in your strengths here. That's open inquiry. That is open decision making. You try to keep your decisions based on the present, which I very much strongly agree with you on that one. Make decisions based on what you're experiencing now, not that of the past and not of the probability of the future. Keep it right here, right now. Keep it present oriented. Use observation skills that are also associated with the Two of Wands and listen. Listen, communicate, look out upon the world, receive, just be open to the moment. That's a great strength, and it's always, I think, very much overlooked by people. Make decisions and be present in the moment. Oh, it can be so informative. Not the past, not the future, right here. The Chariot, in your environment. Yeah, I have the feeling you're a little go-getter. I have a feeling that you have a lot of drive. And once you make up your mind, you tend to just be there. But it's not just making up your mind for the Scorpio I'm looking at. Literally, once you make up your heart on the subject, you're like, well, I'm there. I was there yesterday. I'll be there tomorrow. I know my heart. I know where it goes. And if I say I'm going to be somewhere, I'm going to be somewhere. I love it. I really like that. It really does go hand in hand for the Scorpio I'm looking at. And I get the characteristics too. You know, it's like I said I was going to be there. So I'm going to be there. Or I said, this is what I'm doing, so I'm going to do it. The point is that you have so much drive. It's like, I can't believe you did it. You ever get that? I get that all the time. I can't believe you did that. I can't believe you pulled that off. Why? I told you I was going to do it 5 months ago. Here we are. Where's the confusion? You're just not used to connecting to people who do what they say they're going to do. I don't know. But yeah, I suppose there's truth in that. But yeah, that's where you function too. I love that. I love that. Now, Seven of Wands is in your hopes and fears. There is something in here that you know you have to be strong, and you're afraid that you'll have to block. It's interesting. It's a mirror reflection of, I hope that if I need to block, I can block it. I also fear that I have to. Whatever this is, and that kind of explains why Temperance is on the sideways with whatever it is or whomever it is you're communicating with. Because there's this idea of, if I need to put walls up around this, I hope that I'll be able to, but I'm also afraid that I'll have to. You don't want to. Whatever this is, you really want to give this a fair shot. You really want to, and it's, as far as I can see, it's just conversation. We didn't even get to the Three of Cups yet. We just got the conversation already. Is like you're walking that fine line of, can I show this patience? Can I show this reconciliation? Can I show this compassion? Can I get healing from it? Can I help heal it? I hope I don't have to block. I'm fear that I will. But I hope that if I do have to block, I know that I can. You see, it's like that fine line right here. It's a fine line. It's subtle, but that's why I like that you're keeping it in the moment instead of basing it on past experiences and how you might have handled this in the past. All right, and the Three of Cups is in the outcome. Like I said, up until this point, it was just conversation, but at multiple points. Okay? And you feel good about it, and it's a very strong reflection of who you are today, not the Scorpio of the yesteryears, but who you are today, and that's what counts. I completely agree with you. And the Three of Cups is in your outcome. Yeah, you're connecting to this in the real world eventually. I don't know when. It's not like, well, we were talking Wednesday and then we saw each other Thursday. I don't think it's that quick of a turnaround, no. But the premise is there. It's just a little bit more stretched out. I don't think it's over seasons either. We're talking maybe weeks, maybe a couple months, you know? But no, this doesn't feel rushed. My biggest emphasis for you to take away is that you're remembering to stay in the present, and this is who I am, and this is what I feel, and I take reassurance in that. I'm good. I wouldn't be talking with this if I didn't think it was good for me in some way. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's not going to be readily apparent about what this will, quote unquote, do for you later. Okay. I see that it brings out some really good elements in you when you try to work with it. I'm not saying you have to. I'm not telling you what to do. You're telling me what you're going to do. And the other part's yet to be discovered. For others of you, you connect with this and say it's not worth your time, energy, and effort, and you won't have the Three of Cups at all. You know? Well, let's get some advice, please. I just know that it looks like a beautiful opportunity to start off some tentative but healthy dialogue from something that it looks like you emotionally evacuated from some time ago. In other words, the weight of it isn't there anymore. Okay? But you do seem to care about this a great deal, whatever it is. Ten of Swords, Five of Swords, and the plot thickens. Remember that King of Swords there in the past? Yeah. Okay. Ten of Swords, Five of Swords, the King of Swords. Yeah, past experiences. Some of you used your logic and reasoning in the past to justify an ending. It's going to hurt anyway, so I might as well just do it. This is going to end horribly, so I might as well just shut the dialogue down. If I didn't do it, they were going to do it. Something like that. Mm-hmm. So for some of you, that King of Swords represents the past of how you used to handle this situation, this person, or it was a one-off. I don't know. The point is, I see you listening with your heart now. There was something in here about the fear of the mind took over. It's just going to end anyway. Or they're going to do it to me, so I might as well do it. I might as well beat them to the punchline. That's my lisp. Might as well beat them to the punch. I'll do it before they get to. That's where this is headed anyway, right? Just hurt. That's all logic, reasoning, cold and shut down. So perhaps you convinced yourself you had no feeling for this. Perhaps you were convinced that it didn't care about you because it was going to end up in one way. So this was a self-sabotage moment for some of you, very specifically in your past. I'm not trying to give you shit. I'm just trying to understand. But you had such a solid belief behind it with the King of Swords twice. Thought. There is something here very strongly where you had a moment where you told yourself, I'm going to shut this down before it can shut me down. There might have been some truth behind it. Point is, you wouldn't know. You didn't stick around to find out. I don't know. Whatever this is, the way you're listening to it with your heart, okay? And as you communicate, keeping open towards the healing method behind it through active communication, keeping it present and not focused on past decisions. Perhaps these two have a better understanding of each other now. Could have been them. Self-sabotaging towards the ending. I still see it as you. But yeah, could be. But like I said, the Scorpio of yesteryears, that's not what I'm seeing today. You're very present, okay? Present-minded, present feeling. And if so, you make decisions based on what you're experiencing now, not then, okay? All right. There's a compromise in here. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, balance. There is definitely a compromise in here between these two. It's an opportunity for the happy changes. It represents an opportunity to inject the happiness into this. It's compromise. In other words, it's felt on both sides. The opportunity to speak, the opportunity to reconcile differences of opinion, belief, feeling, whatever happened. And as a result, we have happy changes that are subtle in the outcome, but nevertheless happy. So that's good news. Yep. Okay. What? Okay. ZPU. We have the cat in reverse. Somebody here was not listening to their intuition. That would explain more of that past element. Okay, of getting in the mind there. We have the medallion of Aquarius. Some of you might have some very interesting Aquarius in your chart or connecting to one. We have the wreath at world's end. So there might have... of course, my first interpretation of that is always towards the end of December to early January. But my first, it's been a year? Because it can also represent the coming to, the circle. Has it been a full year? Also, of course, classically, as one door closes, another opens, and this one might be reopening in some way, okay? We have the dragon in reverse, not imposing a sense of power, not trying to dominate either one of you, and neither one of you trying to breathe fire on each other's necks, you know. There's no burns here, okay, and there's no sense of dominance. It's not like that. And then we have the big masculine glasses. Okay, Scorpio, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Pisces, welcome to your Thursday check-in. What's going on for Pisces? Show me, Pisces. What's going on? Show me, Pisces. Oh. There's your power card. Caught my attention. The Ten of Swords. Try to pop out. Have we been working through some pain that's largely been unknown or unresolved? What's going on? Six of Wands, crossing, King of Cups. The Knight of Wands, yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, Ace of Wands, yeah, exiting 10 of Wands before you, the Moon, you. Okay. 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 Strengths, 4 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups, environment, hopes and fears, Queen of Pentacles, out come the Two of Pentacles. Okay. Pisces, honey, whatever this is, okay, first of all, I just want you to know I'm not trying to lecture you or anything like that. It's just I have a responsibility to kind of say things as I see them, right? That's my only real job. And we want the people we watch for tarot to kind of give us the truth, right? That I would hope, right? I've made it very clear over the years. I'm just, if it's happy, awesome, but I'm not here to blow smoke up people's asses, okay? Because you put down some beautiful, vibrant energy, but it's all fire-based, passion. And you said your heart's not open, though, okay? So if you're looking for good times, I got it, okay? Just know that you're doing that. That's all. That's it. And typically, I don't see stuff like this for Celtic Cross. Mind you, I typically see stuff like this for Intimate Tarot because that's really helpful. And it's a good example of why I provide Intimate Tarot. Sometimes in the love readings, but you're like, well, this is what's up with me on your Celtic Cross. And typically, there's more depth in there. So again, I'm not laughing at you. I'm actually happy that you're having some fun, okay? I just want you to be clear that you're having fun, first and foremost with yourself. That's all. That's all, okay? So 6 of Wands straight away at the opening. You're like, I feel good and I want others to see it. Hell yes, this fish is a catch. And I know you're a catch, honey. I know that, but it's right there at the dead center of your reading. I mean, it's not shy at all. So I don't know what's going on, but honey, you look frisky. Okay, you a frisky fish. And the thing is you're like, I'm a catch too. So that 6 of Wands here, do we all deserve triumph from time to time for a job well done, recognition? Absolutely. But you're also showing me fire, I'm turned on. So maybe you're peacocking right now. I don't know. Maybe you've just been killing it at the gym and you super cut and fine. I don't know. And if that's you, congratulations. Okay. Just so different for you. This is so different for you, Pisces. And you're like, what? I've just been feeling good. You know, I've had an energy drink. Well, this is a little bit more than that. The Knight of Wands is crowning you. Like, your passion's out. Like I said, you frisky. You're like, I'm up for a good time. I'm like a good time Pisces right now. So, I mean, it's really different for you. It really is. But the King of Cups is crossing. So there's that sense of big feelings, yeah, but I'm not trying to share that right now. Okay. You're like, I have nothing against big feelings. I have nothing against the King of Cups there. You know, fullness of heart's a good thing. Loving the self is a good thing. I'm not trying to share that right now. I really want to keep things at fire level or what you might call surface level. So again, once more, I'm not picking on you. If this isn't your thing, I wouldn't be surprised if it's not your reading. Check your placements. That's it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You're like, but my heart's just not up for grabs right now. I know it's important, and maybe it'll be important to me later down the line. It's like, it's not that I don't have a big heart. Otherwise, the King of Cups wouldn't be here at all. It's like, but that's not what I'm trying to show off right now. Right now, I'm trying to show off my fire. I'm trying to show off my sex appeal. I'm trying to show off just my appeal. You know, the passion, the ignition. Like your switch is on, but it's like electric only, right? And that's who I'm talking to today. So just know that about yourself. All right? I think you're someone who normally prizes love, just not right now. That's just not where you are right now. And just know that about yourself. You'll be fine. And the thing is, looking at your past experience, it's looking like a fresh past experience. In other words, this Ace of Wands for you is fresh and you're still feeling the effects of it to this day, like right now. So this happened for you not too long ago. This sense of, man, I got to get out. I got to see new people. I got to have new experiences. I got to have something. I don't want to do love, though, right now. I really don't. Love will be later for me, be important to me later, just not right now. So that's a very fresh Ace of Wands. And it's something that hit you very recently in terms of, I've got a feeling, right? Like the Black Eyed Peas, I got a feeling, and you got a big feeling. It's been rolling with you and rolling with you. And your energy wants to express itself very much. So I don't know what's going on with you. If you got your groove back, if you're feeling life again, I understand that. Just please know, I think you have a long-term vision of who you are, but right now you're showing me temporary inflation energy. Okay, the 10 of Wands is exiting. Yeah, I have the feeling. I'm looking at Pisces. You got some fresh pep in your step. Like, I'm saying you got your groove back and you're inspired and you don't want anything heavy right now. Like, you don't want burdens, because guess what already exited for you? Some sense of burden or hardship is out of your life, Ten of Wands. And now you're showing me freedom. Ah, fire. I got to get out. I got to live life. This fish has got to swim, baby. And you want to swim, just not in the heart. Okay? You want to be seen. You want the validation. Right? There's a lot of physical notice me, see me energy here, and you're feeling it. I get that, and it is fresh. It's a very fresh ace for you. You got something out of your life that's finally exited, and it was heavy, and it was burdensome, and it was problematic, and blah, blah, blah. You're like, I just want to live a little. Feelings later. I just want to live a little. I got you. Before in the future, you, the moon. That's you and your superpower, honey. You're keeping a lot of things to yourself. Okay? It's like, what I'm doing is nobody's business. This is part of your harmonization process, so I'm not going to give you too much shit about it. It is your superpower. Okay? You are keeping things to yourself, but it's in that effort to understand what's underneath your surface, and that's a private business between you and you. Okay? So there's clearly what you're showing the world, and there's what you're keeping to yourself as you kind of rebalance and reharmonize. All right? You have to understand the moon is called the moon, but it always reflects on the ocean and the vastness of it, therefore still water. And in there is a wealth of opportunity to understand ourselves better. Things that we keep hidden, tricky emotions, what's really going on with me. Intuition's in there too, illusion, fantasy. All of it's in there. And if we're really good with our process, we sort out fact from fiction in here. And we incorporate our facts and understand which parts are left under the fantasy piece, you know? So you're reharmonizing. So it's looking like you got out of swinging really hard in one direction. I don't know how long it took for that Ten of Wands to exit, and now you're swinging very much in the opposite. So you're going to reharmonize soon. Okay? You're in there. And this is all part of your discovery and rediscovery. Now, your strengths, Four of Pentacles. You say you have a certain strength in holding on. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Holding on and not letting go. So I don't know what it is that you held on to that was so heavy and so burdensome. But now that it's exited and out of your life, like I said, you're kind of swinging hard in the other direction. Otherwise, you pride yourself on holding on. You're saying that you know how to hold on to things, even if it's stubborn. You will. You hold on to the day as long. So whatever this is that let go of, willfully exited, I don't know. Perhaps you held on to it way too long. Because at some point, I'm guessing your strength worked against you instead of for you. Yeah? Your environment, Nine of Cups. You're like, I'm all by myself and it feels good. You are very focused on what pleases you at this time. I see that. I understand. Like I said, you're reharmonizing right now. So you're going to put a little bit more focus on your own sense of wish fulfillment. So do keep in mind, wish fulfillment is really meant to go beyond, this is what temporarily satisfies me. It really is about what is for our best selves and best interest. But right now for you, you're saying right now what's in your best interest and self-interest is to kind of just live in the moment and have some fun. And that's going to be your focus, all right, in your environment for a while. All about the self right now, all right? If it stays there on the surface, okay, that's going to be part of your process, all right? Just don't stay there too long. Queen of Pentacles is in your hopes and fears. Yeah, that's the larger question, isn't it? What is my worth? What is my value? You fear you don't know, and you hope that you do. It's not a guarantee of an outcome. It's simply a reflection of who we are as people. And it's one of the things you're going to sort out under your moon here about those things. What am I worth? Is this it? Am I worth more than this? Is this just a temporary place for me? Look at where I came from. Don't I deserve it? And you're going to go back and forth on that for a while. Somewhere in there is your answer. Yes, you deserve a little bit of freedom. Yes, you deserve some indulgences. Yes, you deserve some wild experiences. Is it who you are really at the end of the day? No, but it's where you are now, and that's okay too. You know you're going to be worth more than these surface experiences. You know that. But you're going to spend some time with them too. It's all part of your process. Remember, you can't show me what isn't there. I think you are a big-hearted fish, but you're like, that's not where I'm trying to be right now. That's part of your worth too. And it's going to be part of your rediscovery process for yourself too. You're worth more. You're worth the big love. Okay? You're worth the nurturing love and care and support, just not right now. Two of Pentacles is in the outcome. This idea of how to get things going, move things forward, to stabilize, that will come in time. I'm not too worried about that. This is the one that's most likely to change because you yourself are currently under change. I'm not worried about that in your outcome. Eventually you'll restabilize. Eventually you'll stop playing hot foot about what to do next, and what my worth is. You'll get that figured out. You'll get that consolidated. Just do keep in mind, you're not a surface dweller. So think of this as a temporary assignment or a temporary residence. It's not who you are full-time. There's a deeper part of you that's full-time, but it's currently not up for access. Okay? It'll get consolidated. But it looks like you need a little bit more freedom first before you get into deeper subjects. Yeah? All right, let's get some advice, please. Who did I tune into? Oh my goodness. Let's get some advice, please. Let's get some advice, please. Nine of Cups, Three of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles. Yep, enjoy your freedom now. And I don't say that to sound like foreshadowing. No, I'm just saying it for what it is. It's in your environment, Nine of Cups. Enjoy that sense of freedom and wish fulfillment now. Okay, while it's running here on the surface, because things have a tendency to get deep in time. And Three of Wands, Eight of Pentacles. There are other days ahead of you where you know things will get back to a place of realness. When you know things will get back into a place of practicality and stabilization, you know this. You're saying it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Here with the Three of Wands. Okay, but for now, we're going to focus on the self. Things will get all too real.
Detected at your front door.
Thank you. Things will all get all too real all too soon. It's an eventuality. You know this. Okay, so learn what you need to learn in this space that you're in. Loosen up, indulge a little bit. Yeah, rediscover yourself, but also understand there's a deeper version of you that's waiting to take over once more. Your heart will love again, okay? And you'll get reestablished into your new sense of worth, all that good stuff. Forgiveness. Learning to forgive yourself, where it is you came from, how long you held on to something and why. That's all in there. Forgiveness. That's, again, part of your rediscovery as you reharmonize. Okay. And the big happy changes will follow in suit. All right. Okay. So many. We have the letters T, N, J. We have the medallion of Aries. You might have some very strong Aries in your chart. Could be connecting to one. Why do I feel like that's important to you? I don't know why. We have the arrow of Sag. You can either see this as a loving thing, like the Cupid's arrow, or, you know, Sag is a warrior. So that's a threatening arrow. Tricky business, love is. It's either an occasion for bliss or an occasion for war. Unfortunately, human beings tend to lump them into those two categories. So that arrow's either a threat or a promise. Okay. We have the world here and the wreath at world's end. So end of December to early January. For some of you, it might better define what I'm seeing here today. And for others of you, you might have been kind of on this surface level of processing and living and feeling for the past year or so. Okay. But also, of course, classically, endings, beginnings. Okay. Some of you might be really focused on a beginning right now, but the kind that doesn't have too many ties, that doesn't go too deep. Yeah. All right, we have the crab, sign of Cancer here, feeling many, many things. And then also last Cancer season might have been Interesting for some of you. And then we have the infinity loop. There's that sense of bond, the infinity bond. It loops back and feeds on itself in a healthy way, as opposed to a circle, which is kind of useless and repetitious. We want a healthy feedback loop with ourselves and then also with others. And then we have the Pegasus in reverse. There's that sense of lack of freedom, haven't been able to fly in a long time, haven't been able to stretch our wings in a long time. And it feels like we're overcompensating a little bit for that, but I also understand. Again, that's not... I just know you'll be satisfied with the surface for so long. Okay? All right, Pisces, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well. Cancer, welcome to your Thursday check-in. Show me Cancer, please. Show me Cancer. Queen of Cups, crossing, Page of Pentacles, crowning, the Four of Cups. Ten of Swords is in your past. Okay. Okay. Queen of Swords is on the exit. Three of Wands, waiting. Okay. Strengths, the Knight of Cups. The environment is the Hierophant. Okay. Hopes and fears, Death. Two of Wands is in the outcome. A lot of folks have been showing me I'm trying to stay present, which is good. I appreciate that. It says we're going to keep focused on the here and now. Okay. Queen of Cups straight away. That's your natural state of grace energy right there. Beautiful. Yeah, you're really trying to listen to your heart space. You're saying it's full, right? You know that. You have a full heart and that you're willing to embrace all the emotions, be they the good kind or the bad kind, which there really is no such thing as bad emotions or good emotions. That's just what we feel. They're all informative. It's what we do with them. That's what counts, right? So I guess what I'm trying to say here, you try to listen to yourself, no matter the emotion, no matter how it arrives in terms of its intensity, the actual labeling of that feeling. The point is that you try to feel it. You don't reject it. You don't deny it. You keep it there in your heart, and you try to listen to yourself too. The King, Queen of Cups have a tendency to have intuition built into them. So, and you're trying not to make any judgments or investments based on what you feel, which, as discussed, you are going to feel what you feel, and it's important and it's informative to the discussion you're having with yourself or with someone else, whatever that is. No matter what the context or setting is, it's going to be informative. It's what we do with it after that we hold ourselves responsible for. With that Page of Pentacles is challenging, so it's not too much of a challenge. You're saying, I feel what I feel, but I'm not going to invest in anything right away. I'm trying to understand this, and you are trying to understand this, and not make any snap decisions, snap judgments, or snap investments based on what you feel. So it's a lot of people understand the pros and cons to any one particular element: air, fire, pentacle, water. Water has cons, water has pros. Okay, you're showing me a little bit of both. All right, and that's a good thing. The more you understand your element, the more you can shift it into a pro. All right. Four of Cups is crowning you. You're not lying about that either. You know you're unhappy. You know. Like I said, we have, as the King and Queen of Cups denotes, we take responsibility for how we're feeling. I am feeling unhappy. Four of Cups. In fact, specifically, Christina, I'm feeling lethargic, detached, upset, shortchanged. That's what all the Four of Cups is. And it repeats on itself, unfortunately. So in other words, nothing's cleared for you. The air. Nothing's cleared the air for you. Nothing's cleared your heart space on this particular subject. But you're like, that's still not enough for me to make a move, make an investment, or make a decision. I agree. It's not enough to understand that we're upset all day, every day. We need to understand where it's coming from. Okay? And then we can know, quote unquote, what to do. We have the Ten of Swords here in the past. That doesn't mean it's over. That means if you experienced it once, you can continue to experience it or learn from it, repeat it, or do the opposite of it. It just tells me that you've had prior exposure to the Ten of Swords. That's pain, endings, but you also know what it's like to have hope. You're telling me that you know what it's like to be in situations that are on the bleeding edge of high levels of difficulty, possibly endings, but you also know what it's like to hope, to still have hope, no matter how difficult the situation gets. That's the canvas I'm looking at. You would still hold out hope for something that's so egregious as upset and lethargy and pain and difficulty, you would still have hope. Because it's almost like you're saying, it ain't over till it's over. And I don't know that this is absolutely over, no matter how difficult it gets. I mean, you're taking your Page of Pentacles so very seriously. Next steps, what to do. Because your poor heart is being very much impacted. But you're saying, I still have responsibility. I completely respect that. So even though you're hurt a lot, and you're very aware of it, you're saying, I will not make any snap decisions. I would still have hope for this thing if you can believe it. I believe you. I do. I'm aware of our cons and I'm aware of our pros. Waters, you know. We're a team. Even with my kind of Scorpio-esque detachment, it is what it is. All right. Queen of Swords, this is why we get on well. Queen of Swords is exiting that sense of logic, reasoning, rationality. You're saying you've done a job of trying to listen to your head over your heart, and it doesn't work for you. There's a particular dialogue you don't want to hear anymore. There's a particular level of determination that doesn't sit with you, be it from yourself or someone else. You're saying, I'm not following that advice, and I'm not going to follow that action. Something. And the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords, they're not too shy about what it is that they know. As well as the determination. You're saying, I will not meet this with coldness. I will not shut it down. I will not cut it out. And I won't take that from someone else either. You're like, that's not enough. It's not enough. It doesn't matter how cold it gets. It doesn't matter how shut down it gets. It hurts, guys. It hurts, this reading, because you're claiming so much disappointment and pain. And the unwillingness to end it. Because you're still not sure. Like I said, pros and cons. You're saying just shutting it out or cutting out is not good enough for me, and that's not a good enough response from whoever else is in there with you. It's not acceptable, either side. Three of Wands is before you in the future. We're going to stretch things out a little bit. It's not an accusation that's here. It's either you're reading or it's not. We're going to stretch things out. We're going to wait. You have to understand if that's worthy of you. Okay? For some people it is. For other people it isn't. It depends. How long can you live in a Four of Cups and a Ten of Swords and still not know, but still have hope for it? You're not going to know till you're in it. You have to understand if the outcome you're hoping for is worthy of it. And that's going to tell you how much time you're going to spend. The less worthy it is in your eyes and in your heart, the shorter that time gets. But if you honestly believe, you think that this has, whatever the hell this is, this could be a relationship you have with a parent or a sibling or a spouse. I have no idea. I do know commitment's involved, and it's very close to home. Your strengths, bless you, Knight of Cups, your strengths is your willingness to still feel towards this, to still show love towards this, to still be vulnerable towards it. I don't know how. I don't know where your incentive is. Is it love of the past or just your refusal to give up? I don't know. Bless you, that Knight of Cups is in your strengths. You would still show this love. Is it being returned? The Hierophant is in your environment. A strong sense of commitment here. In your environment. So like I said, it's a commitment that hits close to home. What that commitment is, I don't know. It's between you two. But there's that sense of I'm not giving up. It's like I'm in this to win this. And like all cards in tarot, they reflect human nature and just nature, actually, black and white. The Hierophant has pros and cons too. If indeed commitment is here the way I believe it is, I can see why you're going to want to hold out hope until the very, very end. Just the end of what? That's my question. The end of your love? And how far out does that measure compared to the other person in there with you? Is this a competition thing between you and what you feel? or how long you can hold out or they can hold out. I don't know. Or are you waiting for the right reasons? You honestly believe there's hope here. I wish I could feel the same. I don't see any healing on the baseline. That concerns me. Death is in the hopes and fears. I think that speaks for itself, yeah? At this time, I think it speaks for itself, you know? Hopes and fears is not a guarantee of anything. It's just a mirror of who we are. What we hope for is what we fear for, more often than not. And that's a big one. Are you hoping they'll do it? Are you hoping that if it calls for an ending, you can do it? You're also fearful of it? You're fearful of what they might do, or you hope that they will do? That death feels like a threat, I know. But it also feels like it could be a kind of release, isn't it? From whatever this is. Two of Wands is in the outcome. A little more waiting, but also with a stronger dedication to stay present in the situation instead of drifting away from it or rejecting it. So that's good. As a stronger implication of a decision must be made, but based on the present, not the past, and not the idea of a supposed future, just what's happening now. We gave it enough time. We should understand by now, at some point, whether this is worth holding out hope for or not. Okay? Goodness me, the heavy readings with you sometimes, you know. Yours is very honest. Right there on the split. Some of you, by the way, might have some very strong Taurus in your chart. Could be connected to one. But I think the emphasis here being this is a commitment, this is a commitment, this is a commitment. I understand. With a commitment then, if two people are on the same page, there should be healing. No excuse. That should be factored into the commitment equation as well. Okay. Page of Swords, Eight of Cups, the Nine of Wands. Not a lot of insight here about emotional detachment and blockage, and someone's refusing to open up and give. It looks like stonewalling to me. And stonewalling's not good. That's never a good thing. It's the refusal to let someone in to consider anything else. But we're not really acknowledging it with the Page of Swords. How welcome is one or both of yours energies? Discussion, dialogue. I know what your strengths are. You showed me that. It looks so defeated through my eyes. Something to think about. Dang it, Cancer. Come on. You are where you are. I know. Personally, I want so much more for you. What you're worthy of for a start. Queen of Pentacles, the Fool, the Ten of Cups. You know, I used to say I didn't think new beginnings were for everybody. And that's true. It depends on who I'm reading. The more you don't believe new beginnings are for you, you're not going to see them that way for yourself. But otherwise, if it weren't for that belief, new beginnings would apply to anybody who needed them. So no, new beginnings are not for everybody. It depends on if you believe in them or not. You know, there's what's happening, and and there's what we're worth. Literally what one is worth: happiness, healthy, harmony, supportive, nurturing, loving, constructive. The willingness to try and do more than try. Being shut down and small-minded about it. Reconsider, because there's something better. A little bit on the nose there, but I suppose Spirit's getting to the point I didn't want to make, you know. Reconsider. There's something better. Like always, don't take a reading that's not yours. You will not be happy with the results. Okay? It either is or it isn't. And if it isn't, easy peasy. Check your other placements. For those of you whom it does resonate for, I hope it helps you. We have the Medallion of Sag. Some of you have some very strong Sag in your chart. Could be speaking to Sagittarius season, which is upcoming. Could be connecting. We have the big star of Aquarius here. Again, Aquarian energy for some of you. Big hopes, dreams, wants, wishes, and desires. We have the lightning bolt. Thunder, lightning, tower. Strong insight needed. Lightning moment. We have the octopus in reverse. Someone here is absolutely terrified of the depths of the unknown. The octopus has become, obviously through history, and as it should, the representation for the depths of the unknown. And it contains all sorts of fearful creatures that human beings don't see every day. And we have our back turned to this. We don't like the unknown. We really don't like the unknown. So if we have a poor point of view of something, that's indeed how we will perceive it. Including things like new beginnings, new opportunities, as much as anything else. I do hope this helped you. Put in the comments. Take care. Be well.